Glad you chose to stop by the channel today. Just wanted to give you an opportunity to really become a part of this community here at the Coach Smook Network. We like to call ourselves the AAA family. The AAA stands for authenticity above all. We just want to give you an opportunity to become a part of this community because we're growing and we're doing something special here as a fan base, not just for Alabama, but the fan community as a whole. We're creating an environment where it's safe to be yourself, be authentic, and meet people who share the same passion you share, whether it's for the same team or not. You can do this by becoming a member of the AAA family. You simply start by just clicking the link provided to you by one of the moderators in the chat, or it'll be pinned to the top of the chat. Click that link, it'll bring you to my homepage. When you get to my homepage, make sure you hit the notification button and turn on all notifications. Understand that there are multiple ways to support the channel, and each level has its perks. You can go through and read each perk. As we continue to grow, new perks will be added to each level. One thing we would like to highlight that all AAA members are greatly appreciated. It does not go unnoticed that you have taken time and hard-earned money to support this channel. Once you join,
exciting news from me.
YouTube is going to ask for some payment information, and make sure you monitor your subscription dates. Also, if you really want to get interactive with the community and find out what's going on, think about joining our Discord family. This is where you can get into all the fan talk of the community, and also there are networking opportunities. Please be mindful that there are rules and that we expect everyone to treat everyone with respect. Also, if you're looking to partner with Coach Smook Network or sponsor, please hit us up at coachsmooknetwork@gmail.com, and our staff will get back to you in a timely manner. I'm your boy, Coach Smook of the Coach Smook Network, and I thank you for supporting this channel.
Better go subscribe. You do roll with the tide. I'm down in the go with Coach Smook. Through the game, roll tide, roll tide. Better go subscribe. TikTok.
Less exciting news for me than with Grubb and offensively. Yeah, Deontay Lawson is our starting Mike linebacker. Shocker. Ready to go.
How's he doing, by the way, recovery-wise?
He's actually doing a great job. Deontay is, it's amazing. I mean, I thought, he carried himself at such a professional level a year ago. His leadership was so impressive. And somehow he's taken his game and leadership to another level, which is really impressive, coming off of not only battling, the recovery process that he's kind of stayed ahead of every marker that we've had for him, but to be able to come out in fall camp, and we thought, maybe we would limit some of his loads and all that. We've really pushed him, and he's handled it really well.
Kane, do you count interceptions the same way Coach Grubb does on your full camp?
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, I don't know what the exact number is out there, but I think our offense is doing a fantastic job of taking care of the football. It was an emphasis coming out of last season that we had to do a better job as a team taking care of the football and creating takeaways. Certainly, we were able to do that a year ago. They're making it more difficult on us. When the bullets are flying and it's live and you can affect a quarterback, that's always the indication of how we'll do. So I feel good about where we are defensively there.
First of all, on Saturday, talked about early run hits being a little bit of an issue. How do you see the
I think overall have been really, really solid, really positive, and I think the different variations of run game that we're going to see throughout the season, I think we have spent an obscene amount of time, right, making sure that, you know, different variations of run game that we're ready for and geared up for, that we have answers, right, to those things as well. But in the scrimmage at the beginning there, we had a misfit that turned into 2 missed tackles, which is uncharacteristic of us. And we were fortunate enough to be able to get a stop there in the goal line, which is great, but never really should have happened in the first place, right? If we're operating, you know, efficiently in the run game. And so those are things that we've just got to continue to harp on and work. And that same call that we have ran this week, our guys have done a really nice job on. So that's what you want to see.
How would you evaluate the competition at Wolf behind the way?
I think it's a group of guys that are all, I mean, they're all competing against each other, but they also have a great camaraderie. I think C-Rob does a really good job with that room, kind of a, you know, 3 or 4 musketeers, right? You know, all for one kind of deal, one for all. They do a really good job of supporting each other. Those guys, you can rotate them in. I think they're all improving in the pass game from a standpoint of generating some pass rush, but excited about those guys taking the next step in that regard, and that's going to be critical to us being able to affect the quarterback more consistently than we did a year ago.
Taking a shot in the dark, is there anybody who's changed your perception of them since camp started?
You know, I think off the top of my head, Deshaun Jones was a little bit banged up in the springtime. He's taken some great strides. Jordan Renaud just continues to grow and improve. So really, really pleased with him. And then some of those young defensive linemen are really taking steps in the right direction. Both Freddie Roach and Jamie Mosley, those guys have done a good job. I mean, you know, Asaya Faga is doing a really good job. You're seeing some things from London Simmons is improving. Steve is improving. So it's nice to see some guys that, you know, maybe he thought might be a little ways away that might have a role for us at some point, you know, here during the season. So that's encouraging.
I know it's not something that you probably watch closely all the time, but what have you seen advertisers?
Yeah. I mean, you know, I think as a defensive coordinator, right, your job is to kind of be an expert, right, on offenses and what we're doing and how they're attacking us. And like Ty just does such a great job of his command of the offense right now. He understands what Ryan and what Nick are trying to get done out of the quarterback position and what we're trying to do offensively. He gets us into the right calls. He keeps us out of bad calls for the most part, and then does a really nice job of just taking care of the football. And the dude makes plays. So, I mean, you know, take care of the football, make good decisions, make plays when it matters. That's, to me, the element of a quarterback. But when I watch him go through progressions, I mean, he has a great feel for boom, 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 and he stays on schedule, and that's always, you know, gonna make you efficient offensively.
Is it pretty clear that, you know, he's been around a while, like that he knows this team, knows
I would think him, you know, there are probably a number of guys on our football team, you can see the value of them in year 2, right? So offensively, defensively, certainly at the quarterback position, how comfortable they are in the system. You know, you see a difference, you know, from where we were a year ago.
Speaking of differences, how different is Xavier Brown going to year 2?
Yeah, that's a great question because, you know, ZB was a guy that came in as a freshman and he made certain freshman mistakes, but he handled them like a veteran, right? And so it was really impressive to see the way that he would make a mistake and then get it fixed, and you wouldn't see that mistake, right? He was able to sustain the correction, as we talk about on defense. This year, he's now playing with anticipation, you know, so he's making plays on the ball. He understands, you know, route progressions. He understands how to take certain things away and then go drive the ball in other places. You know, that he's probably one of the most fun people I've ever coached. I mean, from a standpoint of just how locked in, how detailed, how professional he is every day. I mean, that dude, in my mind, will play this game for a long time.
The type of room that we have. So tip of the cap to those guys. I don't think that's coaching. I think that's just the guys doing a really good job of just focusing on themselves. And, you know, I think Austin and Keelan will be up to that.
Have you decided upon number 2 yet?
Nope. We're still working through all that. Those guys will continue to rep. I think it'd be pigeonholing yourself a little bit on reps and opportunity for both those guys to get better.
Ty gets the job that's announced to the team. What's your message to him after that?
Just don't change anything. Like we still got a lot of stuff to clean up. Remember what got you the job, the things that, you're challenged to improve on after spring and that you did do to this point in camp. Nothing else to change. So I think he's just got to keep improving on the things that he knows he has to work on. And this is just, it's announcement. It's a starting point. If you have any kind of finality to this announcement, whether you're the backup or the starter, I think, they're going to rob themselves of some really good opportunities.
What was the team's response to Ty being named the starter?
Supportive. I think, the guys have been supportive of all three guys, but certainly Ty's shown the most leadership and command. So I don't think anybody was caught off guard by that. But I thought, we did a good job as a coaching staff. I'm not trying to pat ourselves on the back, but trying to let it play its course and make sure the team saw Ty earn it. I think that's important for Ty, too, that he can come out there and his teammates know that he went and earned that spot. And they've been great, offense and defense. Ty's pretty fiery. He's a pretty fiery guy. I've really been impressed how he's been able to kind of calm that. I always thought I was wildly impressed in my time with Geno Smith. He's a fire.
Let's get it, Bama Nation. Hopefully y'all ready to get into it. Let's go, Coach Smook Morning Show. Let's go. I didn't know my intro was that short. That little intro video, Mary J, I thought it was longer than that. That's only 10 seconds. Y'all got to help me out. Got to make it longer. Yeah, let's get into the show today, man. Hopefully y'all excited like I'm excited. Got some reports from yesterday's practice. We talked about that yesterday in the post-practice report. But today, we got some topics of discussion that we want to create as we get ready to kick off fall practice number 12 this morning with the University of Alabama. They will be practicing outside again. Thomas Drew Field is where they'll be hosting practice this morning. And I can't wait to get the reports from today's practice, especially after yesterday's defensive showing. A lot of guys returning back to practice healthy. Everybody giving a fluent practice. Things looking like they're moving a lot faster. You see all the reports coming out from the defensive side, the secondary guys showing up. I'm excited to see everybody in the chat, man. Appreciate y'all for being here. Let me start at the top and let's do a little roll call, Mary J. Let me start at the top. You go start at the top. I'm gonna grab the beat, man, because I think we came to party today. It's Thursday. I feel the vibes from the chat. I see y'all in the chat over there on TikTok. Y'all continue to go everything, man. I see y'all. This notice is unclear. TikTok trying to put me on. Coach Smook already, Brody. I'm detailing a boat, so I'm listening and not. Okay, Antonio. Good to see you, my guy. I see we got a few people that tapped in on there. What's up, Juan? Appreciate you for tapping that screen over there on TikTok. And then Instagram, we got Kendrick and NBA Johnny tapped in. Hey, man, y'all leave a comment for your boy. Don't be scared to talk, man. Instagram, you know what I'm saying? Like, Instagram be scared to talk, man. I don't know what it is about Instagram, but Instagram lives on this format don't look right. So we just going to keep promoting until somebody else catch them. What's good, Sully? Good to see you this morning. Roll Tide in the chat. Urban Essence, my sister, good to see you. With your pretty self. Mary J, what's good on the ones and twos? Joseph Davidson, I see you, my guy. Joseph said, I'm going to check in on all the platforms today. My guy, John Seethalil, John Seethalil, checking in on Facebook. Appreciate you, Roll Tide over there. Jason Jackson, good morning on YouTube. Is this my Booski? Is this you checking in from your YouTube channel? Okay, Booski. Appreciate you for tapping in, baby girl. Ballot Sports Media, what's good, man, my guy? You ain't got to click on Rich. You ain't got to click on him. We don't even recognize no Fairweather fans. We are permanently putting him on the Ragley Fairweather fan list. So his comments don't mean nothing over here. He could take him over there to his boy over there on BFOY. Since he put out information so good, you hear though. I'm gonna highlight your comment so we can give you your little attention there, Rich. This man, ooh boy, you tried me then. But anyways, Dylan, what's good, man? Good to see you, Roll Tide, Brock. What's good, man? My guy Brock tapping in. Antoine, what's good, man? Roll Tide, Roll. Tevin, I see you. Tevin came through with some hot comments the other day, man. I'm glad to see you here for the live, man. Get some good topics and conversation going in the chat. Who else we got in here? We got Chief 18. I see you down here. That's our resident Fairweather fan. He coming a little stronger this year. You're giving me a little bit more confident vibes, man. I might have to dethrone you from the resident Fairweather fan position, man. Might have to get that up to somebody else. Cause you starting to sound like you coming with a little bit more oomph this year, a little bit more Roll Tide in you, a little bit more crimson in your blood. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. Dallas Sports Media and Brock in the chat, man. Two talking heads across the Bama fan base. Y'all see them talking. That means there's something going on. Appreciate everybody for tapping in on all platforms. We're live on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. If y'all have not tapped in on one of those, then you're tripping. All right, you're tripping. So we got 27 live here on YouTube. Let's run the likes up. We got 14 likes in the chat. Let's try to get that 25 like goal again. And without further ado, man, let's get into the topics of conversation here on the Coach Smook Network. Hopefully y'all ready, because I'm ready. Somebody type in the chat, say, put me in the game, Coach Smook. Let's do it. You're talking about Jalen Milroe and the Pips? The perfect weak side linebacker, right? Put him next to the mic.
I'm not going to take up a lot of time, but I want to say that I'm excited about what...
Okay, forgive me, my brother. What's on your mind?
Oh, I'm good. I'm just still sorry for all the other content creators now that we have this mega star back in our presence.
Let's go, chat. Give it up for yourselves, man. Today, I'm ready to get into some good talk, man. I'm ready to get into some good talk and conversation. Hopefully, y'all are too. We should have our green screen tonight, chat, so y'all can stop seeing this funny looking background mix up. We it actually don't look half bad. I've been getting a lot of positive reviews about it. So hopefully the lighting is perfect. We got a nice big white wall that we can utilize for our green screen, you know, so we can spread it out the right way. Just gotta have the right lighting so we don't have the faded out portions and everything is looking good. But appreciate y'all for being here. My boy Chief 18 said he's more positive this year for now. Hey, at least you're a real one, man. He know the first sign of freaking of resistance. He about to freak out. He ain't with all that glass half full of stuff. He's not with it. And I respect Chief. He's consistent. He ain't fair weather. He ain't flippy floppy fair weather. He like all the time. It don't matter how good Bama looking. He gonna find something wrong. And then ain't nothing wrong with that, man. You gotta have that in the fan base. If everybody walked around thinking like me, this would be a boring fan base. True or false? Because y'all know I can make the ugliest situation. I've lived it. I made my situation not look as bad as it truly is, but I won't say I have, God has, but I've allowed him and believed and trusted in that faith system to not allow it to be as bad as it looks or feels. I feel like we got to have them type of fan bases in the them fans in the fan base. You got to have the ones that's like looking at everything that's wrong and that's all they see. You got to have it. And I ain't saying that's cheap, but there's some that really be tripping, right? They really be tripping. But now we got some balance here. We got some balance here to Coach. What's up, Lady Tam? I see you over there on Instagram. Look, I'm clicking through the pages today, y'all. Y'all gonna see me clicking. We got Mary J working the back with the banners in the back. So y'all gonna see a lot of different stuff going on the screen today. Just continue to run the comments up. Let's get engaged in the conversation. So first topic of conversation, our defensive presence this year. Alabama's 2025 defensive presence. What does it look like? What does it feel like? We talked about this the first Kane Womack interview of the fall, when the first thing that Bray Hubbard, Tim Keenan, the first and most the loudest message that's being portrayed from this Alabama locker room when it comes to the defense is what is our focus? The defense wants to create more turnovers. So when you start talking about guys like Xavier Brown, who had 4 interceptions last year as a true freshman, right? I think it was 4 interceptions he ended up having, 6 pass breakups, six different pass breakups. He actually was one of the leaders on the team in interceptions. Jalen Mbakwe had 2 interceptions last year. Talking about a lot of young guys making big on their opportunities to create turnovers. Bray Hubbard was a redshirt sophomore creating with first year starting experience, right? Just first year as a starter, being able to go out and create turnovers. Keon Sabb, Damani Jackson, every DB in the secondary just about that played intricate minutes was able to create turnovers by either interceptions or even forced fumbles. I see a lot of work in practice with guys working the strip drill, right? And it's looking good. It's looking good. So the focus and the ability to be able to play faster year 2 with some familiarity in the system. And we're not going to keep regurgitating these thoughts. Well, this is stuff that we've been saying since the end of last season. We knew that this type of progression was supposed to come. So to hear the defensive line rotation beginning to get solidified, Steven Boomer, I've told y'all, man, this would not take long for him to roll over. Everything that he's retaining technique-wise, mechanic-wise, I knew it would not take long with his progression. You got to remember, this is only his 5th year total, his 5th or 6th year total playing football in his life. Never played organized football until his junior year, I believe, in high school. Was able to gain the attention of Alabama recruiting staff, right? The Alabama staff, they recruited him basically over 6 months of evaluation and looked at how his development was and saw how high his ceiling was. This guy's going to be probably the next Quentin Williams impact type. Quentin Williams type impact player, right? And I think we are sitting in a space now with Alabama fans. We're sitting in a space where defensively, I think we're overlooking a lot of the small, intricate parts of this makeup, this puzzle that we're overlooking. And I think the interior rotation is a key part of that. We talked about that yesterday. We highlighted that yesterday. With James Smith being back as one of the leaders in that interior defensive line room, Tim Keenan, you have nothing but depth of talent behind there. Stephen Boomer, Edric Hill, Jeremiah Beeman. You got Isaiah Fega in there flashing. And now you got guys that float from that position. Jordan Renard, Edric Hill, not Edric Hill, but Jordan Renard. You have LT Overton, who's going to play some of that interior on some of your pass rush sets. Kelby Collins, those 6'4", 6'5", 280 guys, they can be athletic defensive tackles for you in this scheme. You don't necessarily have to be big in on the interior. You don't have to be huge on the interior to be effective in these stunts and these run blitz calls, right? So I love to see the depth being built. The linebacker room, Deontay Lawson continuing to work back, being a leader. The type of production and quality reps and visuals that you've been able to get with the young guys behind him is going to pan out well for a guy like Deontay. You don't want him coming back from an injury like that and having to run 60 plus snaps a game. I truly believe Deontay Lawson could be more impactful with less reps. Go back to that comment. Nakai Hill-Green could be a good linebacker. I'm excited for him. Could be. In this style of defense, Ballard, I think Nakai Hill-Green is the prototypical Will or Mike linebacker you want. His ability to diagnose the run, the run containment, or to diagnose, RPOs. You just go watch his film from Colorado last season. His awareness is probably top tier when it comes to draft eligible linebackers coming into this year's season, this 2025 fall season. So I think Alabama really got to steal, especially padding that room with Deontay Lawson being injured, Justin Jefferson not playing as much as we expected him last year. Definitely got to play towards the end of last season, and we saw his effectiveness, his impact, right? But this year, padding that room with a guy like Nakai Hill-Green and all the young talent behind that, QB Reese, Abdul Sanders Jr., Caden Jones, Luke Metz, Duke Johnson in that inside linebacker room, those 5 guys are going to have time to kind of grow this year, playing behind 3 veterans like Nakai Hill-Green, Justin Jefferson, and Deontay Lawson. So I'm definitely excited to see Nakai Hill-Green join that inside linebacker group, because we know as Bama Nation, and also from a coaching standpoint, the effectiveness or the lack of that thereof, right, for the inside linebacker room has not been top tier or to the standard that as Bama fans we remember when we had our dominant eras, when we were making the national championship pushes. The inside linebacker play was definitely a leader and part of the main impact of the effectiveness of the defense. And I think Kane Womack's defense, if it's going to be anything like what his dad designed at Ole Miss during that land shark span, those 2 to 3 years where that defense was top 10 in every statistical category, I think we're in a good spot. So had a lot of talk about defense yesterday, and I didn't want to overindulge on defense. We got a lot of guys showing up in the secondary. I told you about Cam Calhoun. We talked about Xavier Brown at the beginning of the season, saying do not forget the true freshman. Now true sophomore Xavier Brown last year as a true freshman performed and produced like a veteran. So you kind of overlook him, and that's the bad thing about fans. We and I'm gonna say we. Shout out to big homie over there on TikTok for the gifts, man. Giving the 5 GGs and the 5 populars, man. Appreciate that, my guy. I'm gonna start giving y'all applause here in the show, because those any gifts, any donations are definitely appreciated. And Mary J, we're going to start paying attention to the gifts and the donations over there on TikTok, because we're going to add them. We're going to add them to the banner, so you can put Big Homie in the banner for becoming a co-sponsor on this month's stream with all the donations. Him and Antonio. Thank you, Antonio, for your 11 gifts over there on TikTok. And y'all tapping that screen on TikTok. If you want to become a co-sponsor on today's stream, there are multiple ways to help support monetarily. You can do 5 gifted memberships, Cashapp, PayPal, and Venmo direct donos, and all super chats. No matter what the amount is, will get you recognized as a co-sponsor on today's stream. Now, we do have super chat goals on the YouTube side, which is $25 every segment. Well, we're not pressed about it. We're not pressed about it. So if we don't hit that goal, we don't care. What we do beg for, we beg for likes. And speaking of begging for likes, man, if you haven't already, make sure you go check out our new merch, man. We got the merch updated. Hopefully y'all seen it yesterday, because it's some nice stuff. It's some nice stuff. So y'all go over there, check out the merch store. We got a lot of new, we got like 6 new items on the list. And I'm gonna go ahead and share the screen with y'all so y'all can see it. 6 new pieces of apparel, 6 new pieces of apparel on the list. And the link does work and is updated. So if you haven't seen it already, we got the new Coach Smook Network logo, authenticity above all. We beg for likes hoodie. On the back, we got the We Beg for Likes. Hopefully y'all can see that. I don't have it on the screen for y'all. Hold on. Let me get the right thing on the screen. We got the get the interview stuff out the way. But we got the We Beg for Likes hoodie right here for y'all. All right. And then that motherfucker, we got that in 2 different colors. And then we got that one black and gray. We Beg for Likes hoodie, zip up hoodie. Make sure y'all go check those out, man. I'm telling y'all right now, this some quality material too. If you all remember the t-shirts that you purchased last year on the network, this is the same company. I made sure I got the same distro company. Put me in the game hoodies with the QR code. You know what I'm saying? We got multiple versions of that out. If they let us click it and show. I don't know why it's moving slow all of a sudden. But we got the gray one. I think that, that's the gray. It's still looking whitish, but it's definitely gray. Put me in the game, coach. AAA on the front. Fire. I think these are some quality hoodies, y'all. And then last but not least, we got the Put Me in the Game t-shirts. We got the Coach Smook Network hoodie. Right, that's the zip up one. We already went to that one. Let me see, what the other one at? Got the We Beg for Likes. And ready to play t-shirts. The ready to play t-shirts. My fault, y'all. We got gray. Y'all see the ready to play t-shirts. Black. We got black and red for all my UGA family in the chat. We're gonna do some other colorways too. We got Ole Miss family in the chat. We got Florida State. I'm gonna put some more colorways out so you can represent your squad. If y'all ready to play this fall, man. Represent. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. But yeah, y'all, that's the merch, man. Make sure y'all go support, go turn up, get some of them shirts. And remember, we got 25% off on all items until August 30th. Starting August 15th, tomorrow, we kick off the 25% off all items. Thank y'all for supporting that, man. Thank y'all for being here. Don't forget to run up the likes, man. And don't forget to continue to share the live stream on all platforms, y'all. Now, back to the topic of conversation. We talked about the defense to open the show. Right, we talked about the defense to open the show. We talked about defense yesterday. We heard Kane Womack's interview yesterday talking about how some guys are stepping up. I want to get back to talking about the offense today. We have practice this morning. It's just about to kick off in about 20-30 minutes here. I want to talk about some things that we can possibly see transpire during practice today. And this is just from conversations and things that I had yesterday. And we were literally talking about these things in conversation on our show. What's today? Thursday. So we were talking about this Monday. How the staff, like my thinking, and I believe because of me being around during the transition and getting some interpersonal opportunities to network, right? I learned one thing about this staff. They stick to their process. They stick to their guns. They're going to do what they feel is going to be best for them to set the program and the organization up for success, right? As they should. If you're paid to do a job, I expect you to do a job like you do it, not like Coach Saban did it. And I think the first thing we saw with that was the fact that Courtney Morgan, the general manager, has so much, not necessarily control, but so much impact on the approach to recruiting in the Southeast. Something that Kalen DeBoer had never done in his coaching career, which by all means, I think he's done a good job everywhere he's been. Never been known as a recruiter, right? Never has been known as a top tier recruiter, but definitely has set up a system that has produced quality athletes and prospects for the NFL, right? And as we continue to come in on the YouTube side, share it up. We want to get those numbers up. We want to get back up to that 50, 60 range of live viewers. So share it up. Let everybody know we're live talking Bama football. But Kalen DeBoer's system is not only attractive because of the numbers, of the number of players that's put in the NFL. But if you look at numbers, and we're going to talk about some specific numbers from this 2023 Kalen DeBoer, Ryan Grubb-led offense, this is the reason why you're able to go and get guys like Isaiah Horton out the portal, but also retain guys like Ryan Williams, Rico Scott, grab guys like Latsier Brooks, Derek Meadows, Caleb Edwards, Marshall Pritchett, right? Jackson Marco, Brody Dalton, Josh Cuevas, people receiving assets, offensive assets that can provide explosive plays when they are in the receiving game, when they're involved in the receiving rotation. This is why you go and get high catch radius guys or wide catch radius guys like Jalen Hill, and you keep him in the locker room, right? You keep him on the roster because you're able to go back and say, hey, this is the type of numbers that the offense can produce if we get you dialed in and you buy into the concepts and you understand and are able to interpret it. And then also, we always love to talk about quarterback battles, and if this quarterback doesn't win, he's going to leave. Well, I'm here to kill a narrative. I think realistically, they got Keelan Russell sold because they said that he would have an opportunity to grow. And Keelan Russell not only I don't think he came to college to necessarily be the guy his first year, but to know that he had the opportunity, and then he steps up to the plate and he continues to progress in this opportunity, knowing that he's going to be QB2, knowing that there's a true opportunity still to grow every day. That mindset is what you can sell a quality player on. And I think that's how you retain Ty Simpson, that's how you retain Mack, and that's how you retain Russell in that quarterback room. With all three of those skill sets, I think Austin Mack right now would be utilized heavily if he was at Kentucky, Georgia, Mississippi State. They look like they have a quarterback issue. Missouri. There's a lot of schools in the SEC alone that would love to take Austin Mack with his skill set and the type of skills he provides at the quarterback position. Same thing with Keelan Russell, same thing with Ty Simpson. I think there's a lot of schools in the SEC alone that would take any one of these quarterbacks in the Alabama quarterback room and feel like they would have a lot more success than what they currently have. So Alabama has the perfect problem. We have the perfect issue. Now, diving into the numbers, I want to pull some things up. So 2023, the Washington Husky passing attack under Coach Kalen DeBoer. And let's look at these numbers. I don't want to stick here too long. I don't want to stay here too long. But I want to look at the main passing attempts. You talk about the number one quarterback and number two quarterback. Luckily, Michael Penix didn't deal with injuries that 2023 season. And as you can see, they didn't have to use Dylan Morris, who was a highly touted quarterback that Washington was able to get a commitment from. I really think these numbers right here, that 555 attempts, I think we see that more so from as a total attempt mark from the passing game this season. More like 550, 575 in that range. And 500 of those will be for QB1. I think 70, 75, 85% of your passing attempts will come from QB1. Now, QB2, Keelan Russell, I think he's going to have more than 9 pass attempts, or according to this, 14 passing attempts this season. I think Keelan Russell gets anywhere from 45 to 50 passing attempts this season. If the pecking order and the depth chart stays just like it is. What's up, CJ? Good to see you, man. Good to see you in the chat. Continue to run them likes up, man. So Looking at it. Look at the completion percentage between the quarterbacks, though. If you look at the 65%, target, and this is what we talked about on the show the other day when Brian Grove was talking about which quarterback can give us those numbers that we're targeting for this offense to be successful. You hear him say about the 6 targets, the 6 explosive plays that you want to be able to hit and key in on during the game. 6 explosive plays, 6 explosive numbers. They've been hitting that target for 5 days straight now. Against a secondary in ones that's just killing it on the 1-on-1s, the 7-on-7s. But when it comes to full team execution, this offense is looking fluid, right? Look at that number, 65% overall between the 2 primary quarterbacks. And then the numbers, 4.9K yards, 4,903 yards, 36 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. You're talking about the interception to touchdown ratio. We're looking at offensive efficiency to the T. And I don't even think that Michael Penix ended up with 40 touchdowns that season, including the playoffs. No, this is 36. So 36 total touchdowns. I think it was 42 total touchdowns because he had a few rushing touchdowns. So we look at it, man, and I want to compare it to these numbers. We talked about it before, how Alabama's 2024 numbers, you're talking about with a different offensive coordinator, different skill set at the quarterback position. We talked about how these numbers just didn't add up, but you can tell play calling wise that this staff had aspirations to try to stay within the makeup of what their offensive system requires. Even utilizing Jalen Milroe, whose skill set don't match what they need. You look at the amount of attempts, even with Ty Simpson last year, 25 attempts compared to what we saw with the other quarterback, is still right around that same range with the amount of opportunities. So you're looking at a 80%, 75% clip for QB1, and then like a 15% clip for QB2, which is awesome. Man. We know at Alabama, you got more depth of talent than you would at Washington. So I think we live in a space where if you're named QB1, you don't get to show value in the system. And Ryan Grubb said something alluding to this. Ryan Grubb said something alluding to this. He said it in the interview. He said if a quarterback takes today's announcement or this announcement as and the starter or anybody takes these announcements as who's starting and they choose to stop trying to grow and improve themselves, then they'll miss out on plenty of opportunities. And this is what I think they mean by that. Ty Simpson having 25 attempts last year compared to the Husky passing attack where the backup quarterback Dylan Moses only had 14, right? And look how many games he played in, 4 games. Ty Simpson last season played in 6 games, right? Just trying to find a space for you to utilize your depth of talent. And I feel like at Alabama, not only are we looking at a situation where you have quarterbacks who are better, right, in this situation, right? And this is the wrong year. This is the first year under coach. Is this under Kalen DeBoer? Let me go make sure I got the right stats. 2024. Oh yeah, that's 2024, right? No, that's 2023. Let me go check something real quick. I think I got the wrong screenshot up, chat. Because we was going to compare that year's stats, 2023 stats, to 2024 stats from Alabama, just so y'all can see how Jalen Milroe's skill set forces you to kind of play with play within his wheelhouse of what he's comfortable with. I think I got the right ones, chat. Okay, we got the right ones. 205 or 319, is that what that says? Okay, yep. Yeah, so we got the right ones. But if you look at the passing comparison from year 1 to year 2, Jalen Milroe starting, the offensive systems, it kind of is consistent with what, let's say, offensive coordinators experience, whether experienced or unexperienced, what their evaluation of Jalen Milroe was. You talk about Bill O'Brien. It felt like he was forced in that Arkansas game, forced to try to call the game away from what he was used to because of what Jalen Milroe's skill set provided. And that's the limited in the passing game, but you want to be able to utilize his athleticism because what he can't do in the passing game, you'll see what he can do in creating more plays for the offense. So I look at it and I say this, chat, and I get to this point. I've been dragging it out to get to this point. The offensive play calling style and the amount of passing attempts that we wanted to see last year, right? We're going to get to see that. We're going to get to see that this year. And we're going to see more pass attempts out of that. I don't think you see much of a play calling change when it comes to Ryan Grubb and the difference between Nick Sheridan and Ryan Grubb. Now the pace of play calling and directing this offense, I think you'll see a difference there because overall you have continuity. You have some reoccurring characteristics in the offense that you want to continue to see. The vertical passing scheme is key. Being able to push the ball downfield. Ryan Grubb also highlighted that in his interview. But it all starts with the ability to get the ball out, the timing and everything. So with Ty Simpson displaying that at a high level, I think this offense is poised and ready. Let's transition to the offensive line. Y'all know I've been giving this offensive line a lot of love because they deserve it. They deserve it. Not only do they deserve it, they've earned it. Especially after they went from learning one style and system in the season, and last year still was able productive was a top 15 offensive line group. You're talking about the amount of pressures. If we look at the pressures that were caused by the offensive line or that were the sacks that were at fault of the offensive line, I think you can go for every four sacks that Alabama suffered last year, the offensive line was responsible for one. So at like a 25% clip. And that's just my personal opinion. Frank Wright, what's good, man? Good to see you in the chat, family. And so, if you looking at a 25% clip where the offensive line wasn't at fault, I think with Ty Simpson and this style of offense, if you can keep it at that clip, if you can keep it to that 25% or less clip of the offensive line being at fault for the pressures on quarterback, that's when you see guys like Ty Simpson have the type of success they have, because now you're not forcing him to do something that he can do. I'm not going to say he can excel at creating with his outside the pocket with his legs, but he can do it at a great clip. But I think you set him up for success when your offensive line and the continuity there provides that pocket presence, provides that time in the pocket to where he's dropping back and he's going through his reads. His eyes are downfield. We heard Ryan Grubb, and I talked about this last season. I kept saying this last season. I said if Ty Simpson, oh snap, look at me. Let's do it. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. I just got some good news. But if you look at the system, right, and you say Ty Simpson, he not going to run the ball as much. That, to me, that's better. That sets up the offense a lot better, because now we're looking at the extensive nature of what this offense can do when he's handing the ball off 25 plus times to this running back room, and 34 carries, 37 carries, I think is like the target number. 34 to 37 carries a game is like the target number for this offense to be successful. To have 34 to 37 carries, and you want that number of successful carries, 3 or more yards per carry, right? You want that number to be at like a 75% clip. You hand the ball off 30 plus times, 75% of the time you gaining 3 or more yards. You're putting yourself at that 115, 125 yards per game, total yards per game, and that's low for Alabama standards. But you're talking about the skill sets available. If you're hitting those numbers, look at what you have available. You have Jam Miller breakaway, you have Richard Young breakaway, you got Dre Washington in that room starting to spark, and then you got Daniel Hill, who's like the dark horse that's all of a sudden emerging after we've been talking about his hands out the backfield, his size, his deceptiveness, his Eddie Lacy on the field type feels where everybody expecting this man to run folks over, but you mess around and put your head down trying to tackle him, you'll be tackling air. So all of these assets surrounding the quarterback position lets me know and allows me to believe that we are poised to be a top 3, top 4, top 5 offense, right? And I say top 3 because I truly don't see other offensive systems that have all of the assets we have. The only question and the biggest question that we had coming into the season was not what quarterback, but who. who's going to be quarterback one. Because we truly feel like in the quarterback room, we have 3 guys that could really lead this offense, and make a playoff national championship push. Conference championship, playoff, national championship. With any quarterback in the room right now. Even with Austin Mack, his mechanics and his development, the level that they are now, they will provide a more consistent product than what we see across the SEC for half of these teams. I think right now, Florida, South Carolina, LSU, Texas A&M, Texas, Vanderbilt, and that's it. I think those are the only teams right now that are sure in what they're going to do as far as the product that they're going to produce offensively at the quarterback position. Everybody else has problems. Georgia has problems. Kentucky has problems. Missouri has problems. Ole Miss, believe it or not, Austin Simmons is not looking like the Austin Simmons that everybody was hype about against Georgia. I don't know what it is. Is it the sophomore slump that's already started for him? And if it is, that's scary. If he's having a sophomore slump in practice, you don't want that going into the season. Yeah, man. So I would love to see this continue to develop in the quarterback room and how this is going to progress with the offense. The offensive line is the key, though. They have put together this offensive line rotation. I think with Jaden Roberts being out for those for that practice and that scrimmage, it allowed them to see something on a different level as far as combination of guard play and tackles, how they can move them around. Geno Vandermark being able to play both guard positions and be just as effective at left and right guard is huge for this offensive line because he is your 6th guy off the bench. And if you lose a tackle, right, Caden Proctor or Wilkin Formby, I think this staff feels more confident with sliding Jaden Roberts to a tackle position, right? So if you lose Caden Proctor, Wilkin Formby slides to left tackle, you slide Jaden Roberts to right tackle, and you move Geno Vandermark to right guard. Jaden Roberts goes down at right guard. You slide Geno Vandermark in at right guard. Wilkin Formby, Caden Proctor at left tackle. I mean, left and right and left tackle. Left guard, Cam Dewberry. Center, Parker Brailsford. Right? If Geno Vandermark goes down at left guard, I think, of course, Cam Dewberry slides in, and then you keep your rest of your offensive line. Right tackle, Wilkin Formby goes down. You slide Jaden Roberts out there. You slide Geno Vandermark at right guard. That's the rotation right there. To go past that, right? You're looking at 2 freshmen at the tackle position to fill those voids, which I believe are ready. I think Michael Carroll and Jackson Lloyd are ready. But that guard position right there, man, Rock Montgomery is I would love to see him make a push to get in that 6th offensive line rotation, this offensive lineman rotation, because I think his skill set across the interior, being able to snap, being able to play both guard positions, and the tenacity he brings in the run game. If we really want to see this offense excel this season, the offensive run game, we have to have an explosive offensive run game. I said this last season. We need an explosive run game. Hey, what's good, my boy? Good to see you, man. Good to see you in the chat. Good to see everybody. Hey, run them likes up, man. We got 25 likes on the stream, Mary J. We got 25 likes. Yes, sir. Let's go. Give it up for yourselves, chat. 25 likes on the YouTube side. TikTok, what y'all doing over there? Vaughn, appreciate the gifts over there, man. Vaughn just sent, what's that, 37 of them gifts, man. Appreciate you, my guy. Appreciate you, Vaughn. And everybody else tapping that screen. Day, I see you over there on that side. We done had 25 people come through on TikTok. Appreciate y'all for the love, man. Y'all been going crazy, supporting on that side of things. And I can't wait to continue to see this grow. Instagram, I see y'all. What's up, Sam? Good to see you. My guy, Big J, my brother from UHP. Bama football talk this morning, y'all. Bama football talk here at the 52-minute mark. We're talking Alabama's offense. Now, we've talked about the offensive line. We've talked about the quarterback position. I don't want to get into the wide receiver rotation thing because I'm just getting excited more and more. I've seen some comments in the chat talking about Lachier Brooks going off and all these other names. But I'm telling you, man, I'm not going to let it go until y'all see it happen. Watch y'all witness it with me. Rico Scott. If y'all don't remember Henry Ruggs, freshman year, right? Freshman year, Henry Ruggs. And I'm telling y'all, I watched the game. We watched it yesterday on TikTok while we were getting ready to do some NCAA gaming. We watched it yesterday. Alabama versus Florida State, the second year under Jalen Hurts as a starter. They played against DeAndre Francois. If you look at how Alabama targeted Henry Ruggs in that game. I think he had 3 targets. No, he had 2 targets. One was a touchdown, and the other one was an incomplete pass. Jalen Hurts overthrew him. I think that's what Rico Scott is going to be like this season. I think that year, Ruggs started off with his first 7 receptions was touchdowns. His first 7 catches was touchdowns. I truly feel like Rico Scott is going to be in that type of field, that type of mode. And I'm not saying every catch is going to be a touchdown, but every catch is going to seem like he's doing something big play like for us. As far as Alabama and this receiving core, right? Jalen Mbakwe. I don't know what phase or form or fashion that he's going to be utilized or the level, how much he's going to be utilized. But I guarantee you, playmaker. Every time he touches the ball, it's going to be something to be watching for. Like, oh, what is he going to do? Now, the first 2 or 3 touches, I think getting back into that live game feel and being in that position is going to take him some getting used to. But the first one he breaks, I guarantee you, college football is going to notice. And the only thing I'm scared of when it comes to this receiving core, I don't care to get into the breakdown of each and every receiver because I feel like we got one of the more quality depth. I'm not saying every receiver in this room is dominant and is elite, can change the game, but I think the balance and the skill sets you have different phases of or different skill sets that can pop in different phases of the game. Meaning, when you have a defense that's really hunkering down and playing up close and playing man, I think we have 3 or 4 guys that can get off the ball in press man coverage that work press man very good. You got big body Isaiah Horton that can get off press man. Jeremy Bernard, who's very deceptive in his releases. Ryan Williams, who's also deceptive in his releases. So you got 3 starters already that can really work the press man coverage. But then behind that, Jalen Hale strong off the press release. Rico Scott strong off the press release. And we saw Cole Adams put in work, routing guys up off the press coverage. So you got 6 guys that if they're running press 0, we're going to light them up. We feel like we can go out there and light them up. If they're going to send 6 on protection, let's leave a tight end in, right? Let's leave a tight end or let's get 2 running backs in. And with their pass pro experience in Jam Miller and Richard Young and Dre Washington, all showcasing their quality pass pro skill sets, let's leave these guys, these extra blockers in because we got 3 guys in the receiving core, 4 guys that sometimes that can win in these press man coverages. So, and I'm gonna use video game talk for a second. If they want to get in that double mug and they want to try to send 6 on every play, we gonna get the ball out quick because you got guys like Mbakwe, Latsier Brooks. If you give them space, you want to try to back off and try to contain. You give them space, you can't miss. You can't miss on these guys. Latsier Brooks, a 4.39 guy. Jaden Mbakwe, 4.36, 4.35. You're talking about 4.3 guys at the slot position. It's going to be hard to contain these guys. I look at Cole Adams, who ran a 10.48 or 10.51 or something like that in high school in the 100 meters. And we all know Ryan Williams' game speed is different. Isaiah Horton is somebody that's going to be deceptive in as far as how he stretched the field. Jalen Hale can get vertical. Guys like Derek Meadows who have time to develop. Let's run and throw them out there and get some deep jump 50-50 balls in the air. And then let's not even go to the tight end room. We're talking about tight ends galore right now. I've seen clips, but I've also heard that the tight end room is probably the most valuable that it's been in years. Probably since the last of Irv Smith. The value in the room, not just guys available, but the value in the line of scrimmage blocking, run blocking, pass pro, screen game, like being able to create yards after catching the quick game. That's what I'm happy to see with this Alabama offense. So the receiving core, intact as it is, we're going to see how great of a coordinator or personnel handler these coaches are. Speaking of the coaches, let's transition to this. Is this a star staff or is this a basic staff? I want your thoughts in the comments. Is this a star coaching staff, a star-studded coaching staff when we look at both sides of the ball? And I look at the defensive side, starting with the coordinator, defensive coordinator Kane Wommack. Looking at some of the production that he's had at Indiana when he was at Indiana as a defensive coordinator, but also at South Alabama as the head coach and bringing that same exact system from Indiana to South Alabama and now bringing that system and transitioning it to Alabama. Is he a star in the game as far as defensive coordinators and how he's with the extensive knowledge that he's learned from not only his father, but being able to have Coach Saban there his first year during the transition to kind of tweak some of the concepts of his 4-2-5 to go in line with the 3-4 nickel, some that a lot of the players were used to from the previous year, and the coincide concepts and language to really transition this group of young defenders that he had. I say star. I say a star. I think he's a star. Shout out to my guy Data. He said, yeah, a star. A star in his opinion. I think he's a star. 100%. Let's transition to one of his assistants. Let's go to somebody, a long tenured coach right there, Freddie Roach. Star simple. Star or Bud. What is it? Bust. Star or bust. Freddie Roach. His recruiting alone, I believe, makes him a star. And I think because he recruits so well, we have taken his development aspects for granted. We've taken his development aspects for granted. I look at guys like Justin Hill, Quay Russaw, Yanzi Pierre, and their growth under Coach Roach. Quay Russaw, he was under Coach Roach during the Saban era, his first year. I guarantee if you talk about Quay Russaw's development now, if you ask Quay Russaw how's Coach Roach changed under both staffs, the mentality probably hasn't changed, but the technique that he's able to teach to coincide with what this defensive scheme needs and what's required in this defensive scheme, I guarantee you the linebackers and the defensive linemen of this group, the edge rushing group that work with Coach Roach, I guarantee you they are having a lot more fun with the style and the techniques that they're being taught, because it's a lot more aggressive nature. And what they were doing in high school as highly touted recruited defensive linemen and edge rushers, they have more of a centered concept to that in the technique and the mechanics of this defense up front. So I think Freddie Roach is a star. I think Freddie Roach is a star. You look at his assistant, Jamie Mosley, another former Alabama player that experienced a lot of success in the backup role for majority of his career. So you have another coach who has that experience, that on-hand experience, that true experience playing at the university, but also not being a star. I don't think Jamie Mosley was considered a star. And when you have a staff like that, somebody that understands that role, he can teach the value of being ready as the third or fourth guy in the rotation and the type of impact you can have. He can give this mindset speech of, hey, you don't have to be the guy. Just think about it. If you're just as good as the guy in front of you, or if you're just as good as the second guy in front of you, right? Guess what? Now, if he's winning in front of you, you get that snap, that series of 3 or 4 snaps in a third quarter. Now you're the guy beating him because he just was getting beat by the 2 guys in front of you. And you're just as good as those guys. He's not fresh like you. Your legs are fresh. You get to go out there fresh moves. Or you could throw the same thing that's been beating him all game at him with fresh legs. Now that's how you get the 4 sacks in the season with limited snap count. 60 snaps in the season and you got 4 sacks. You got 15 QB pressures off of 60 snaps in the season. That's 3rd string, 4th string type numbers. But you're able to do that because you're just as good and you bought into the process, and you're developing in a system that utilizes the depth of rotation. So yeah, Jamie Mosley is a quality addition to this staff as a defensive line assistant. Then you got Chuck Morrell, former defensive coordinator at Washington during their national championship push under Kalen DeBoer, working with your linebackers now. The inside linebacker room, freeing Kane Womack up to be more so of a defensive coordinator and an observer of the whole defense, being that he has in-depth experience at all levels, coaching D-line, linebackers, and the defensive backs, more so the safeties, right? You open Kane Womack up to focus on game planning and play calling, because you got a guy like Chuck Morrell at the inside linebacker position coaching those guys. Someone who's familiar with Coach Kalen DeBoer's style of play calling, what he wants to push out there as far as pace of play calling, and what the defense has to do to coincide with how this offense is going to operate. You get that experience, but you also have Chuck Morrell, who's a mechanic and technician at developing the inside linebacker position, getting guys' eyes in the right part of the field and diagnosing things. Because of his experience at the running back position, also coaching on that side of the ball. Things and techniques that, hey, key on this when you see the running back lineup. Key on this when you see the guard lineup. These are small things within the system that align with what Coach K Woman wants to do for his linebackers. Coach C. Rob, outside linebackers. We know that group is very athletic. Very athletic. Star, his SEC experience gives you that feel of, all right, we're not getting soft on the edge. A lot of people were so worried about Coach Kalen DeBoer's staff getting soft. And I don't understand what like soft coaching looks like anymore. When you have an undisciplined team, I understand it. But this wasn't an undisciplined team last year. Even with Malachi Moore's outbreak, the penalties, we saw a drop in penalties from Coach Saban. We had more penalties in the last year with Coach Saban and Coach Steele, all these hard-nosed coaches, Coach Reese. We had more penalties that season than we did this past season. So the Iron Fist technique is not working anymore in college football, and it's proven. Culture is proven. So we look at it. Star-studded staff on the defensive side. Then we haven't even talked about Coach Mo in the secondary. We all you got to do is turn on the tape for the freshman production last season. And guys like Damani Jackson, who came from USC, who I wasn't too happy about it until I went and watched USC's defense from that season when he decided to transfer to Alabama. And I was like, man, there's no way that he fell off that bad. And you go look at it, USC's defense was just horrible. And you see how he was able to come over and be an immediate impact. The type of season he had could have went in the draft this past year, and been a first round talent, early second round talent. Damani Jackson comes back. He's going to solidify himself as one of the top DBs in the country. So a star-studded staff on the defense side. Offensively, Kalen DeBoer brings basically his whole staff over, adds Coach Cap and Coach G to the staff. I don't have to go and extend about Jamarcus Shepard and the wide receiver development. You saw him produce 2 first-round talents at the wide receiver position from Washington, and then a second-round guy, tight end went in the second round. A lot of guys went in that staff. Speaking of, let me show y'all some of the Huskies receiving numbers from that year. And I'm not going to dive into it. We're not going to break it down like we did the passing, but I want y'all to do Huskies receiving. Huskies 2023 receiving numbers. There we go. Huskies 2023 receiving numbers. Look at how many receptions Rome Odunze had. And he played more so that position that Isaiah Horton and Jalen Hill are going to be asked to play, the X position. One of the bigger body receivers. This team was limited as far as assets in the receiving room. They had 3 or 4 guys that they were going to go to, and that's all they really had. All these auxiliary stats for guys that have less than 10 receptions, and you'll see it. It was like they had 20 some guys with receptions. I only highlighted the primary guys, 10 or more, and you had 9 different receivers, right? 9 different receivers on this staff with 10. I mean, on this roster with 10 or more receptions. Now you can go in here and say, you know, which spots were more impactful, but this just goes to show you the variety and distribution of the ball with a Washington roster. This isn't a 5-star, 4-star studded roster. This is what you have in the offense when you stuck with assets and you're able to use these assets. You're limited with your resources. Notice Dylan Johnson is number 6. Yes, in receiving. Because look at the work he was doing. Look at the work Dylan Johnson was doing in the rushing game. 233 attempts. You had last year, Jalen Miro had 168 total rushing attempts. And the next closest thing to him was Jan Miller was 140. We did not see the normal Washington Huskies balance. And I think because Dylan Johnson was the most senior option in that running back room, and they only had, you know, a year to evaluate. They didn't get to recruit guys and recruit a running back and sign a running back that they have been recruiting. He did a good job with his style of running. I think you have 4 or 5 Dylan Johnsons in our running back room. So I could see 233 carries being divided in a 60-20-20 split between 3 running backs, or 60-20-10-10 split between 40 running backs. And they be happy about the type of carries that they get. Right? But the receptions, 92 receptions, I think that's cut in half for your lead receiver this season. I think the lead receiver may have 55 receptions this year. 355 pass attempts. 355 pass attempts. for this Huskies offense, or 555 pass attempts, 363 completions by the starting quarterback in this system. And you don't think Alabama's going to utilize 11 receivers and have at least 8 of those guys with receiving 10 receptions or more? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 here with Washington's old roster at 2023. And let me see if I can pull the whole roster up, because I think they had 22 guys total. 22 guys total with receptions that season. 21. You had 17 guys with a reception that season. Right here. 17 guys with a reception. Hopefully did it pop up? I need that off, Ray. There we go. You had 17 guys with receptions this year. As you see, I got the receptions section highlighted from highest to lowest. And then you had 2 1,000-yard receivers. If y'all think, listen, Jeremy Bernard's 5th on this list, right? With 34 receptions, 419 yards. That lets you know that he was getting targeted. 34 receptions last year at Alabama didn't amount to 500 yards or 400 yards. 40 receptions last year barely amounted to 600 yards. Ryan Williams had 55 receptions last season with 700, 800 yards total. Look at the receptions, guys. Look at the touchdown ratio here. Receiving touchdowns, 13-9. I mean, you had 9 guys with a 9 different guys with a different receiving touchdown. Yards per game. Roma Dunze was literally the go-to guy, and everybody fed off of that. You have 3 number 1 options at the University of Alabama in Isaiah Horton, Ryan Williams, and Jeremy Bernard. Jalen McMillan, we know that he was very underutilized. Look at what he's doing in the NFL right now. Injured that year too, came back and hopped right into it and was an impactful guy. I don't think you're going to see this disparity of yards per game between the wide receivers either. I would not be surprised if nobody averaged over 100 yards a game and we have 14 or 15 guys averaging 90, 95, 80, 75, like those numbers, 40 or more yards per game. I would not be surprised to see that type of spread with how this offense, the quick game, is going to work this season. I truly believe it. And when you look at numbers like this, you only get excited because Alabama, we dropped back 623, 624 times last season and only threw the ball 300 of those times and only completed 200 of those passes, or I think it was less than that, 200. Let me look. Alabama 2024 passing. We dropped back 354 times. No, dropped back 600 times and only threw the ball 354 times is what I'm trying to get the information to y'all. Over 600 dropbacks, and only a little bit over half of those dropbacks resulted in actual pass attempts. And you only completed 200 of those. So that clip, the completion percentage is there. We're still in that close to that 65% mark, right? That target that they want to see. So still able to take care of the ball. 11 interceptions. Still able to take care of the ball. You're still on that 4-1 clip, 3-1 clip. Those numbers are consistent in this system. A little bit more understanding, a quarterback that kind of fits the wheelhouse as far as what you expect from this quarterback position. Alabama's offense is going to look good. And I'm glad that I went in depth today with that, because now we start to see this thing kind of transpire. James Henry, how do you see him using the running backs with the crowded room? James Henry on TikTok asks, how do we see Ryan Grubb using look at how he utilized one running back at Washington. Look how he utilized one running back at Washington. Literally all he had at Washington was the young man, Dylan Johnson. Look at how he used Dylan Johnson. Make sure I'm zoomed in on the right spot. 233 attempts for one running back And then the guy behind him was, I believe, was a freshman. 44 attempts for him. Michael Penix, the quarterback, less than 50 attempts. I love that. You see the wide receivers getting in the jet sweep action. Jeremy Bernard made a few big plays off of that. Right? Few scores off of the jet action. Will Nixon, the guy they used in the jet sweep action a lot, 6 yards per carry. Open field. So I think that's more so what you're going to see from guys like Bob, guys like Rico Scott, guys like Latier Brooks, those open field jet action moves. And then you get guys that are decisive in their moves, real slick. Wide receivers that can get in space and make guys miss. Jeremy Bernard. I think Cole Adams finds himself in that category too. But then look at the rest of the running backs. Not many attempts because of how young they were. Daniel Nada, if y'all remember, I think he ended up transferring to, was it Arizona State? And he goes to Arizona State and has a solid. I forget what school he transferred to. But everybody got attempts, man. Total attempts in this offense, 390 attempts. So close to 400 total attempts compared to the year under Kalen DeBoer and Ryan Grubb. I think that because you're going to have close to 400 attempts, Richard Young, Jam Miller, neither one of those guys are going to have more than 200 attempts. Neither one. Even if you and if you look at the yards per carry average with this group, right? Let's go back to the attempts. The yards per carry average 5.1, 4.2, 6.1. Those are consistent with what we saw from the team last year. Even these guys with limited carries, 5 carries, he averaged 6 yards. 4 carries, he averaged 8 yards at the wide receiver position. Right? 3 carries, 10 yards. Jalen McMillan, the jet sweep action, to get these guys in the run game. The average per carry is where I like to see. Total TDs in the run game. Total TDs. Let's see how many. 28 total touchdowns. Jalen Murray had 22 touchdowns by himself last season rushing. Jam Miller, I believe, had 8 or 9. You got an opportunity to see 20 something plus 20, almost 30 touchdowns between 4 running backs. I think Alabama can do it. Ryan Grubb will do it. So James, I hope that answers your question. I that's how I see it going. I see a 60, 20, 10, 10 type split. 60% going to RB1, 20% going to RB2, and that 20% is going to be in the quarter. Like if you're trying to get 15 handoffs in a game, 8 of them are going to go to RB1, 4 of them is going to go to RB2, and you might get 1 or 2, right? For RB3 or RB2B, right? And then second half, you might see RB2 RB3 be RB2, just to keep legs fresh. The rotational depth is going to be crazy to see at Alabama's running back room. What else we got, man? I would like to see more sacks from our defense. I think that's a focal point. Like we've seen in the interviews, Coach Womack and the staff talk about turnovers, but when you talk about sack yardage, that's turnovers too. Those when we talk about turnover downs, when you're able to put guys behind the line of scrimmage and finish drives 3 and out, to me that's turnovers. That's turnovers because now you're giving your offense an extra possession. When we start breaking down film during the season or going into the season, y'all are gonna hear me say stuff like we're up a possession. That's +1 on the possessions to the possession table. I say that when defense goes out and gets a turnover on downs, and then offense is able to produce points off of a stolen possession, meaning we take a possession and we produce on top of it, that's +1. It doesn't matter about scoring a touchdown or getting 7 points, just getting points off of a possession. That's a possession that you win. And Alabama did not win. In some games, even when we won on the scoreboard, the possession battle, we did not win. We just so happened to be able to create extra possessions. Let's say, for instance, one game, I forget, was it against, it had to be Missouri, the shutout game. Yeah, the shutout game, I believe it was, where the offense had 6 extra possessions. We were able to force 4 3 and outs, or 4, it might have been 3 3 and outs, and force 2 turnovers. but we were only so out of those extra possessions, those 6 extra possessions that we was able to create, where we cut the drive in half, or we forced a 3 and out, or we forced a turnover. We only was able to produce 17 points out for that. 2 touchdowns and a field goal. That to me is not high efficiency. That's 50% clip of conversion rate, and you're only up off the 6 extra possessions. You're only up 3 possessions. You only take advantage in the possession balance. You only took 3 out of 6. That's not going to be quality there, especially with the way the defense was getting better last year, creating those extra possessions. And now you're creating more snaps for the defense. When you go out after they get a 3 and out, you send them right back out there 3 plays later. Now we start to see some of those mistakes being made on the defensive side. So I think this year, if we have the offensive efficiency like we should, we won't see that possession balance. I mean, imbalance again. We'll see more so of a balance and see that this offense, when taking advantage of those extra possessions created by the defense, is probably the most dominant in the country. I would love to see. I think Dre Washington gonna be utilized more than he getting credit for. Why else would he come for one season? One, I think it's more so of a fact that he has skill sets that aren't going to be utilized in other offensive schemes. And Dre Washington is a guy that doesn't need to be a 2nd round, 3rd round guy, right? With so much tread on the tires, I think he came into a system where his opportunities may be limited. They may be limited, but in the moments where he gets opportunities, he knows that he can provide impact. Just imagine being the 3rd or 4th guy in the running back room that's going to get 40 plus attempts in a season. You can create some quality value with 40 plus carries in a regular season. So I believe you're absolutely right. I don't think he's going to be the guy, or I don't think he's going to provide any extra like, wow, this guy, we're going to get exactly what you expect from power run game, strong hands out the backfield, strong and pass pro. Stronger pass pro. And you got to think, Daniel Hill is still the young guy. He's a true sophomore. A.K. Deere is a true freshman. Kevin Riley's a redshirt freshman, sophomore on the field. Richard Young hasn't had a lot of reps. Been on campus for 3 years now, but hasn't had a lot of reps. Jan Miller is the only guy that we really know what he's bringing to the table because of his game experience. Richard Young dealing with injuries coming into this season, coming into last season, wasn't able to get fully healthy. Now we're going to see him fully healthy and see what this rotation looks like. Bama won 6 natties with 7. Bama won 6 natties with Bear. Bama won 6 natties without either of them. Bama's Bama. Facts, Richard. 100%. And I'm glad you're here, Richard, because that quiets the Fairweather fans that think that Kalen DeBoer can't do it. Like, this is a program, this is a university or organization that has always been a company to winning, been attached to winning. So I appreciate it. What's up, Melvin? Good to see you, my guy. Roll Tide. Shout out to you. Shout out to the TikTok chat, man. Y'all continue to run the likes up, man. Y'all tapping that screen like crazy right now. Instagram, I see y'all tapping in. Make sure y'all drop a comment when y'all come through. Vernon Channel TV, my guy from UHP. What's good? Terrence, what's good, man? Baby Sosa 2 crew. I see everybody on Instagram. Y'all tapping in, man. We got a lot of Bama talk this morning. Hopefully the show is carrying on well enough to keep y'all engaged. But real quick, before we continue and get into our comment segment, get ready to run the comments up. Any questions or topics that y'all want to bring up, we're going to run it for another 45 minutes. I'm feeling good. We got practice coverage coming in. We got text messages coming in from practice just starting not too long ago, maybe 20 minutes ago. We just kicked off practice. So we already got messages coming in from guys warming up. Looks like we got a shake up in rotation as far as the running back rooms. Funny that you all asked about the running back room, because it looked like we got a shake up in rotation. Not necessarily shake up, but some things. Guys are lining up in drills based off one of the text messages we got, changing order. And then also I like to get the warm up notes, because that tells me a lot about what we can expect from practice that day, as far as guys rotating, the type of looks that we can get when we're talking about first group and first team, this first guy out, all of that. So we're going to be able to talk about that throughout the show. But I'm almost tempted to open the phone lines. Y'all able to call in? If y'all able to call in during this this message break, let me know about putting some phone emojis in the chat. Let me know if y'all able to call in. I'll open the phone lines if y'all able to call in, and we'll instead of just working the chat, we'll work both the chat and we'll work the phone line, because I'm feeling good this morning. It's Thursday, Friday Eve. Saturday is a special day for the network. We're going to be doing something Saturday for y'all. If you weren't on the members only live, you don't know what it is. And if you wasn't live to see it, you probably don't know what's going on Saturday. But yeah, we got some special stuff happening Saturday here for the network. So with that being said, y'all know Zach ready to get on the phone lines. You know what, Zach? I'm gonna open the phone lines for us. I'm gonna go open the phone line. So Mary J, you can go ahead and get that banner ready, that ticker ready for people that yeah. We're gonna call in. Get ready to call and get the get ready one so they don't start calling right now. Cause if I click over to this phone line and it be blowing up off the hook, I tell you what, I'm gonna be excited and I ain't gonna be able to do the show right. So without further ado, y'all, we're gonna go ahead and get into this infomercial break. And when we get back, man, we're gonna open the phone lines, but we're also gonna jump in the comments and talk to you. The fan talk segment, the AAA chat segment. We're gonna get into it. Anything you got to say about Alabama football, what you've been hearing, what you want to know, if it's true or not, I give my insight and my expertise on it based off of my information as we continue to gather our information for Alabama's practice today. Our 12th practice. Let me make sure I'm right. This should be the 12th practice of the fall camp. Yeah, 12th practice has started today, and we're already getting some text messages and things coming in from practice. Just ready to see what this. I'm ready for kickoff. Bump all that. I'm ready for mother kickoff, man. I'm sorry, mama. I had to do it. King family reaction is in the chat. Hey, we got royalty in the house, man. My brother's back, man. I know this offseason been busy for you. We got to do his summer work with the kids and everything. But shout out to my brother being in the chat. King, you got to get back on the show, man. We got to get you on the phone lines. We got to get you on the show. I also want to hit you up, man. So I'm going to text you today. I'm glad you typed in. I want to hit you up. For anybody that I've been trying to work with for the past, 4 or 5 months, I have an opportunity that I want to present a lot of you all. I see you guys pushing your content on other channels and stuff. I got a space for you. I got something for you, and I want to introduce it to you. So guys like Nick Saban Jr., King Family Reacts, guys like Ballot Sports Media, Brody Smook. I want to get with y'all. I got something for us, y'all. And I want us to kind of engage. It's not going to be time consuming. It's definitely going to be within your wheelhouse and everything. So let's get into it. James Henry, Kyle, Killer Kyle, what's good, family? Good to see y'all over there on TikTok. So after this message, we'll get back to the show. Mary J, you can get the banner out the way, and we'll get back into the show, and we'll talk some more Bama football based off your questions and your thoughts and your words here in the Coach Smook Network. Like I said, we're going to open that phone line up for y'all. So without further ado, this is how you become a member of the AAA family and stay in contact and stay in tune with what we got going on. Here you go. Glad you chose to stop by the channel today. Just wanted to give you an opportunity to really become a part of this community here at the Coach Smook Network. We like to call ourselves the AAA family. The AAA stands for authenticity above all. We just want to give you an opportunity to become a part of this community because we're growing and we're doing something special here as a fan base, not just for Alabama, but the fan community as a whole. We're creating an environment where it's safe to be yourself, be authentic, and meet people who share the same passion you share, whether it's for the same team or not. You can do this by becoming a member of the AAA family. You simply start by just clicking the link provided to you by one of the moderators in the chat, or it'll be pinned to the top of the chat. Click that link. It'll bring you to my homepage. When you get to my homepage, make sure you hit the notification button and turn on all notifications. Understand that there are multiple ways to support the channel, and each level has its perks. You can go through and read each perk. As we continue to grow, new perks will be added to each level. One thing we would like to highlight that all AAA members are greatly appreciated. It does not go unnoticed that you have taken time and hard-earned money to support this channel. Once you join, YouTube is going to ask for some payment information, and make sure you monitor your subscription dates. Also, if you really want to get interactive with the community and find out what's going on, think about joining our Discord family. This is where you can get into all the fan talk of the community, and also there are networking opportunities. Please be mindful that there are rules and that we expect everyone to treat everyone with respect. Also, if you're looking to partner with Coach Smook Network or sponsor, please hit us up at coachsmooknetwork@gmail.com, and our staff will get back to you in a timely manner. I'm your boy, Coach Smook of the Coach Smook Network, and I thank you for supporting this channel.
go with Coach Smook. Through the game, roll tide, roll tide. Better go subscribe. TikTok.
Let's go, chat. Let's go. Come on. All right, y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all about your boy real quick. I'm gonna tell y'all. I ain't even gonna front, y'all. I made some coffee this morning, and I had to go back and make sure that it was good. Like, I had to go back and make sure it was some good. See, some of y'all just drink coffee, right? My dad used to cook coffee, right? I don't know if that makes sense to y'all. My dad used to cook coffee. So like when I used to be able to get in there and I was able to what is it? I was able to dang, what do I want to say? I was able to drink like leftover coffee of what my dad had. I don't know why I just had a brain for it. But like my parents, they used to have, like my mom, she never used to drink all her coffee. And so like when she used to ask me to take it and pour it out, I used to always put it in the microwave and warm it up. But now, at the age that I am now, I get to make it now, right? I get to make it. And I don't know why my oh y'all, I think we have to let me see something. Hold on, Zach. I gotta fix something for the calling line. Hold on. Here we go. We got that feed. I gotta change one cord up. Hold on, chat. Give me a second. Intermission screen. Hold on. Let me see. I'm gonna change one thing, y'all. We'll be right back. Let me see if we got one up here. I think we do got an intermission screen. We'll be right back, chat. Y'all listen to the tunes real quick. All right, chat, I think we back. We good. All right, so Mary J, you can go ahead and put that phone line number up there. Go ahead and put that phone line number up at 334-625-1121. Go ahead and call in if you want to. Like I said, this is random. We didn't plan the phone call segment, so if you just tapping in, you like, dang, he gonna do the phone call segment on at work. Well, walk your outside. Open that. You be on Facebook anyways already, so you might as well go ahead and walk outside. Make it do what it do. All right, chat. We got first phone call on the line. Here we go. Hold on, chat. Let's get it. I think Zach on the line. We should have him. Yo, Zach, what's up, man? You in the game with Coach Smook. How you feeling this morning?
I'm good this morning, Coach Smook. How about yourself,
man? I'm doing pretty good. Let me see if I can turn the volume up for Zach, y'all. Let me make sure I got this set up the right way. I know I had it right. All right, we got that. So Zach, man, all the reports we've been getting the last few days, man. How you been feeling about everything, brother?
Excited, man. I'm first off, I gotta say congratulations to Ty for winning the starting job. You know, we knew he could do it. It's just he hadn't been able to get over that mental hump, and he's finally getting over it. So I'm proud of him on that. And I didn't want the coaching staff just to give it to him because he's a vet. You know, I wanted him to be able to go out there and earn it, and he went out there and earned it. So I'm proud of him.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Looking forward, man. Give me your thoughts, man. I know we kind of talked about our projections for Florida State game, but hearing the things and everybody, Zach, you know, of all people, my strict evaluation and my I guess you could say pessimistic evaluation of Ty Simpson, because I've always felt like he's had the mechanics and everything. It was always been the mental block. Hearing Ryan Grubb speak on some of the things that we've been kind of saying we need to see from him, what does that say, knowing Ryan Grubb's experience, knowing Kalen DeBoer, what does that say about Ty Simpson's dedication, but not just his dedication, but the team's dedication?
Right. It shows positive, what's the word I'm looking for? It shows great maturity. And development on Ty's part, that his development hasn't gone to waste these 4 years or 3 years, going on 4 years that he's been at Bama, that he really took his opportunities, his lumps, and learned from his mistakes and grew as a quarterback and grew as a leader, grew, you know, and all that. And this team, we needed to go through the struggles, you know, or the downfall, more or less. And I believe, and if you pay attention, Coach DeBoer is trending on kind of the same path Nick Saban did in a different way. Nick Saban had to get rid of the people that were only wanting mediocrity. Kalen DeBoer had to get rid of the people that had the big head ego, the entitlement, right, you know, and all that. So now that we're on that path and got rid of all of that, now we can move forward and only go up from here.
100%, Zach, 100%. Hey, and then also you said something that I don't think a lot of people would recognize and admit, but Kalen DeBoer didn't have the best opportunity to be accepted during this transition. You got to think you're following up the greatest college football coach of all time, and you're trying to get any 17 to 22, 23-year-old young man to listen to you, and you have nothing to put out there and say, hey, I'm the reason why you should listen to me in their eyes, you know, from a basic standpoint. But if you pay attention, everybody on this Alabama roster has real reason to kind of conform their thoughts and their mindset to the way that Kalen DeBoer is running his programs, because you look at the success that the Washington guys are having at the NFL level that he was able to coach for 2 years. You look at the guys in the league that came through his system at Fresno State and found opportunities in the portal that were able to learn early in Kalen DeBoer's system, and then hit the portal and transfer to other programs where their foundational development and their approach to the game was developed under Coach Kalen DeBoer. that's on both sides of the ball, and he creates a culture of success for success. And I think that's what the selling point is when you're talking about recruiting, when you're talking about getting guys out the portal. You have to be able to say, hey, this is who that we've been able to send to the next level through our system, through the way that we run the program, through the way that we run things. So with that being said, man, I asked the question about the staff earlier in the program, and I'm telling you, staff it matters. It's not just about the players on the field; it's about the staff. When you look at this staff, let's talk about the offensive side. Is this a star-studded staff, or do you think this staff is more so a top-heavy staff with just Ryan Grubb and Kalen DeBoer running the show?
Honestly, I think it's a star-studded staff, the right staff with the right coach. Because Coach Gillespie, our running back coach, he was here with Saban, but I'll say, what I'm saying is, when Nick Saban left, a lot of the staff was hand-tied under how Coach Saban wanted to run the program, even with it changing and becoming what it is today. And with Coach DeBoer getting hired, it freed up and allowed this coaching staff to modernize with the times, you know, and coach in a style to where they're not handcuffed, you know, and not behind the marker, and they're like right on pace or ahead of the marker, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I'm excited. And even going back to what you're saying about Coach DeBoer didn't get a chance, I mean, you know, a lot of people said he couldn't recruit in the South. And he has done great things with recruiting. He has a great staff, a great recruiting staff that has helped him and this coaching staff and everything. Coach, and even coming from me, I was reserved about Coach DeBoer and his ability to recruit, but you also got to take Coach DeBoer last year was learning something new and on the go, because he has never had taken over a successful team.
True.
He's taken over a struggling team, but not a successful team. And so it was new for him and everything to learn everybody's capabilities and what makes them tick and how he can push them and all that.
100%. And I don't think people are taking that into considering that as a factor. And to come out 9-3 last season, you know, we've already echoed that sentiment many a times here on the Coach Smook Network. But now you're starting to see that more prevalent as your other mainline and mainstream reporting sites and things of that nature have been able to calm down and take this thing and put it into real perspective. The numbers even produced last year in the transition are better than what we've seen when we're talking about the last smooth handover or transition between coordinators that we saw and it didn't fall off was between Sarkisian and Lane Kiffin. You know, we saw a one-game fall off in that Kiffin game when he left for Ole Miss going into the national championship, and Sarkisian just didn't have the continuity with play calling and all of that in the national championship. But then that next season, Sarkisian turns around and uses that same system, adds a few wrinkles, and because of the continuity on the team and the veteran group of that team, you saw the growth. You saw that recruiting class come in and go crazy under that system. So if people don't think that can happen under Coach Kalen DeBoer and this offensive system that literally sent, 5 guys in the first round after a national championship push in the season, they sent 5 guys in the first round from Washington. A total of 10 players got drafted in that draft, the most by any Washington Huskies graduating or draft eligible personnel in the history of Washington. So Kalen DeBoer and his staff know how to produce quality. And like you said, I truly believe this is a star-studded staff. Now, finally, we talked a little bit about rotations on each side of the ball, but there was a question in the chat, and there was a comment that I want to highlight. Shout out to Ray Parham for being in the chat and dropping his comment and participating. Appreciate you, Ray. Continue to share the stream, everybody, on all platforms. We're on all platforms right now. TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. We're live right now. So make sure y'all go and share the content. Let them know you can talk your Bama talk with Coach Smook this morning. Zach is in the game on the phone line. Ray Parham said this comment, and I want your immediate reaction, Zach. I think we need more than 233 carries between four backs. I think 300 is more ideal. Less than 233 will not allow any of the running backs to get going during the course of the season. What's your thoughts on that, and how do you think the running back ball carrying the ball carrying distribution is handled in on Alabama's offense this season?
Okay. And I agree with Ray. We need around that 300 carry mark because we have so many backs, you know. And I believe it'll be Richard Young or Jam Miller, whoever is hot in the game, will get the majority of the carries. So like 20 or 25, 15, and 10, you know, or whatever, you know, however we decide to do it. I don't know exactly how we're going to decide to do it, but yes, I think it'll be going into the Florida State game. I think it's going to be Jam, then Richard, then Daniel Hill. You know, and we'll split the reps between them three backs, and then in the fourth quarter when we're running, you know, and have them tired and everything, then we can throw in Kevin Rowley, A.K. Deere, Dre Washington, whoever is stepping up and taking that fourth spot.
Right. And I think, like I said, I think the distribution of carries is going to be different. I'm still more so inclined to believe that there's 60, that's 60, 20, 10, 10 look is something more ideal. I agree with Ray. I agree with the consensus of the fan base that we need to see those 300 carries between the running back room, and that's not to include the less than 50 that we should see from the quarterback position. So if you add it up and you do it close to like the numbers that they're targeting for total carries, I think you will see where you have a running back with 120 carries, another one with 100 carries, and then the other two with 40 or 50 carries apiece. That's more than enough. That's more than enough to show and utilize that you're going to use your depth of rotation. You have skill sets available. I don't think unless this offense just sputters and doesn't produce like it should, the scheme just doesn't work out. That's the only way I don't see the running backs being happy. So even last year with the limited carries that Jam Miller had, the yards per carry was never a factor from the running back room. You had Jam Miller average 4.3 or 4.7 yards per carry, and then Richard Young with his limited action was at 5.2. Daniel Hill was another 5 yards per 5 yards per carry. And then who was the other running back last year? Jam Miller, Richard Young, and Justice Haynes. With his carries, he had the lowest average. And that's because of his running style. But I do believe if you have a guy like Justice Haynes in 205, I see you calling in right now. Get ready to call right back in 2 minutes. 2 minutes, call back in 205. But you look at it, and Justice Haynes with 30 carries is successful in anybody's offense. He has time to kind of find that space and time. Well, if you look at the style of running back being recruited right now by Kalen DeBoer and staff, they're not recruiting guys that need 30 plus carries a game to get in a rhythm. And if you look at the guys that have had success in college football over the past, 5 or 6 seasons that have gone on to the league, they don't necessarily need 20 plus carries a game. You look at guys getting an average of 15 to 19 carries a game with 100 plus yards a game because of the style of run game or the scheme and the ability to pass it off between 2 or 3 guys, you have one guy that naturally emerges because of the freshness and their ability to stay fresh throughout the game. So I'm not too fixed on the old school mindset that a lot of Bama fans from the Saban era want to continue to carry, that we need one guy to get 20 plus carries. No, I think in this system, because of the way that you've seen the run game utilized in this system, guys can really have explosive plays with 15 attempts, 17 attempts in the game and not have to worry about taking so much tread off the tires. The physicality of the game is at a different level now. Even the equipment is designed different. You don't want guys taking so many hits in the game like you did back in the day when you had Derrick Henry, Trent Richardson, Mark Ingram, Eddie Lacy, all those guys, Bo Scarborough taking hits, 30 carries a game. I don't think you'll ever see that again at Alabama. I don't think you'll ever see that again, not under his staff. You won't ever see one running back get 30 carries in the game. Now, it's raining. We got to make adjustments. We might find a bell cow and ride them until the wheels fall off. But I think with this offensive scheme, the spread of talent in that running back room, 15 to 18 carries is ideal for your lead back in the game. And I think that has a different level of production. And I think that's what the running backs will see as they continue to be patient in this scheme and let it develop. Averaging 6 yards a carry, 4 yards a carry is going to produce big run playability. So all about that offensive line coming together, but the running back rotation definitely getting solidified. Final thoughts, Zach, on your way out the door, man. We got another caller trying to call in, 205. Get ready to call in. You got about 35 seconds till you call in.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Coach. And roll tide to my AAA family. I'll holler at y'all later. And roll tide.
Roll tide, Zach. You ain't got nothing else to say. No final assessment, man.
We're going 12. We're going 12-0 this year, guys.
Let's go. Get off the phone before you get me in trouble, Zach. Call on the line. Let's see who it is, man.
Welcome.
Ballard Sports Media.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Yo, Ballard Sports Media, you're in the game with Coach Smook. Talk to me, man. What's going on, man?
Hell yeah. How we doing, Coach? How you been?
I'm doing good,
loving the
brother.
show so far today.
Look, doing good, man. You enjoying the stream so far? That's what you said.
Heck yeah, always, man. You got the best Alabama content out there for sure.
Sweat, man.
I love it.
Listen, this is coming from a guy that I truly respect in the industry that's on the low-key side of things right now. Presentation has always been there. Ballard, for you to say that, live is kind of you kind of trying to make me cry. I think you're trying to get me emotional. But nah, you know how I respect your work, man.
Need some tissues, I'll send them your way.
you got some extras over there, man. Look, all this crime we've been dealing with in the off season, getting ready and just not having college football, but now being back at that point, we ready, man. We geared up and kicked off. But Ballard, man, kind of the same tone of conversation here. With you being a content creator yourself, I just want to kind of open the floor for you to kind of divulge into your overall evaluation of this team since fall camp has opened up, starting with the defensive side, man. Give me your thoughts and some of the things that you've been covering or you've been reporting on your side. And for everybody, before we get into this conversation with Ballard Sports Media, make sure y'all go check out his content. He's commented a few times. If Mary J could find one of his comments and highlight it, that's the name I want y'all to look for in the chat. And go make sure y'all subscribe to his YouTube channel. The quality content that you get, the coverage that you get over there, the takes that you get are going to be unbiased, and they're going to be Alabama centered, but they're going to be unbiased and they're going to be truthful and they're going to be insightful. So go check out my brother Ballard Sports Media. But Ballard, give me your thoughts, man. Give me some feedback, and shout out to the 43 likes in the chat.
Yeah, shout out to everyone in the chat, man. Alabama's coming off an interesting season last year. We know about 9-4. It's time to put that behind us. I wish Milroe the best of luck with the Seahawks, but I'm not surprised that they named Ty Simpson the starter. What surprises me is that anybody actually came out and said it. I think we knew it was going to be him, but for Kane Womack, Ryan Grubb, offensive coordinator, to come out this week and say, oh, hey, guys, how's it going? Oh, by the way, Ty's going to start for us. Instead of us just waiting for that first game, I thought that was pretty cool. It kind of for anyone that is dumb enough to think that it would be someone else, you can turn your brains back on, because I think it's all obvious there. That's my thoughts on Ty Simpson. I think we made the right move, and I've been saying, I kind of talked to Feinbaum this week, and I even made a video or posted on Twitter or something, but he kind of, who he makes me think of in recent years? I go back to Clemson 2018, even though they had beat us in the championship. It makes me think a lot about Trevor Lawrence.
Lawrence. And I literally just said this in a conversation. I don't mean to jump in and cut you off, but the feels around Trevor, knowing that he had the skill set and that he had the skills, but wasn't fully developed, right? When he came in, everything around him was set up perfectly. The offensive line, the defense was dominant. The wide receiver core was solid. The running back room was the bell cows, and that was kind of going to help him transition if need be. But his natural raw talent was definitely a focal point coming in. And you remember the year before, the DJU situation, he didn't necessarily start over DJU, but when he got his opportunity, he showcased that he was the guy. Am I backwards, or is it the other way around? It wasn't DJU before.
No. It was a guy by the name of Kelly Bryant, actually.
Talk about
DJ came. Yeah. But yeah, dude, look, I'm not here to say that he's going to be this freshman phenom, because obviously, number one, he's not a true freshman. He's a redshirt. He's been there a couple years. But look at how he plays. Look at his build. I don't want to call him dual threat. I want to call him pro style and a leader. I really want to call him that, because that's what I think he is overall. But the way that he just whips the ball downfield, he's calm in the pocket. I think a lot of people need to watch that this year. I know there's going to be haters that say, whatever, you're just hyping up your team, blah, blah, blah. Ty Simpson's going to be legit, man. And the issues we had with Milroe the last couple of years, as much as I love the guy and I wish him the best with the Seahawks, like I say, we're taking steps forward as a whole team this year, and I think one of the big things for me is, you kind of lose some of the Saban recruits to the NFL. And this is going to be the first true test, I think, for DeBoer to see what his team looks like. Bringing in a new quarterback, working with extra wide receiver or two that's stepping in with, like, Isaiah Horton from Miami that he recruited out of the portal. So what's your thoughts on all that, man? Because, when it comes to the DeBoer side of things, is this it? Is this the test to see what his team looks like, so he's not stepping in the Saban shoes?
I don't necessarily think year two allows him to be in that space. You're still dealing with some key pieces that are from the Saban era, right? You're still transitioning your defense fully into the 4-2-5 scheme that we want to see from Kane Wame, which we saw a big leap in transition happen like the last 6 weeks of last season. Offensively, you're just now getting to the stage one of what you want to do offensively, like verbatim. Your scheme, your system, everything, your language is now intact and in place. The staff that pushes it is in place from top to bottom. You have no question. So this is year one, truly, for Kalen DeBoer. Having a full offseason to recruit, having a full spring to prep, having a full offseason before spring to prepare your team for the spring ball was huge. The execution and the level of progression and growth during this spring compared to last spring under Kalen DeBoer was astronomical. You're talking about some of the numbers even reported from the strength and conditioning standpoint where with light years, percentages, 12% increase from last year for a lot of guys. You got true freshmen coming in. The first week numbers and fourth week numbers are the increase and the decrease in areas where you need to see those numbers are above percentages from last year. So it's like a ripple effect from top to bottom because of the leadership that you have in place and the trust in the process, something that Coach Saban spoke on highly through all 17 years as a head coach of Alabama. That's what he hearkened on, focusing on the process. And I think the development of each coach at each level, the from the position coaches to the play callers, we're going to see a change in that development and how the game is managed, which will entail for overall production for Alabama. And like you said, Christian, I'm one of those guys like you, man. I don't like to be that horn tutor or that Bama bias guy, but it's kind of hard to when you've been watching the game of football for as long as some of us have, like watching the actual game, not just watching our teams, but watching the game. And we've seen this type of feel happen at Michigan as the most recent. We saw it happen at Ohio State. We saw it happening in Texas, and it's still developing in Texas. We see it happening at Oregon. We saw it happen for Georgia for about a 5-year span where they just kept a veteran presence on their roster. Majority of their presence on their roster was veteran guys. And now we have an opportunity to see the same type of development opportunity presented with the veteran group we have. So many freshman guys and young guys behind these veterans that are going to play impactful rotational minutes. By the time the season is at week 7, week 8, your freshmen are basically sophomores now. And so you go into next year with everything that you plan to have, having a good gauge of what's there, what's available, and how it's developed in a real time based off of this second year of being able to implement your full plan. So this is truly year one for Kalen DeBoer. And I think he does get an opportunity to separate himself.
Yeah, no doubt, man. And then let me ask you this too. I'm sure you've seen now, by the way, I will say the polls don't matter until we get to November when they start with the committee rankings and how they feel about the field of 12 and stuff. But let's be real, man. They put us at number 8. I get that we're a top 10 team, but think about it. I could get Texas at 1. I like Penn State at 2. Those, if you take returning production and the schedule sets up pretty nicely, those might be 2 of the best teams this year. Ohio State at 3, and I could go down the list, but they put us at 8 in the top 25 poll. Are we disrespected right now that they put teams like Notre Dame and Oregon ahead of us, that they put Georgia ahead of us? Like, how are we feeling about that? Or do you think they did that because of our quarterback situation, which, by the way, if they're going to base it off one basic position of not knowing our quarterback and all that, I think that's a little bit disrespectful, man, because we got a lot of great depth and pieces on the O-line. I like that to take a step forward. The defense going to be top 5, top in the SEC. I'm telling you that right now. Ballard is calling it. How do you feel about us being ranked at 8 in the preseason poll, man? Add fuel to the fire?
I think not for me. You know, I understand it. And like you said, to your point, as much as Texas is getting love, this is Arch Manning's first year as a starter. But I think people got to remember, this is Archie Manning's 3rd year on campus under Steve Sarkisian. He's not going in and having to learn a whole new system or anything of that nature. He's literally sitting in a spot where he's been lying in wait, being developed in a system. Luckily, he's had Quinn Ewers in front of him to where, you know, the injury bug is allowing him some opportunities to get out there and showcase and continue to grow with some actual meaningful reps. But now it's full-time Arch. And I think they're that confident in what Arch can do, even with the questions surrounding him. Texas has a lot of production that they're replacing, but these are also pieces that got to play impactful and meaningful snaps last year. So they're kind of in the same position as Alabama. And you look at their schedule, it lines up for them. So I get it. Penn State, like you said, as much as I hate to admit it, there's a team that's returning a lot of production on both sides of the ball. I believe their number is right at 82 or 83% of production returning on combined production returning on both sides of the ball. So you can understand that. Ohio State, national champs, you can understand that coming in the top 5. You can't disrespect them, especially when they have over 50% of their production returning. But they also have been recruiting heavy, and they continue to get impact players out the portal. Georgia, you got to give them their respect. SEC champs, reigning SEC champs, made a playoff push, got beat by the team that's behind them, Notre Dame. Notre Dame, if you haven't been paying attention, they're killing it in recruiting. And they're also, Coach Freeman, what he's doing right there as far as developing and changing the overall archetype of the players that he has on that roster, especially the defensive front. Notre Dame is deserving of this position. I think where I am still going to continue to gripe and complain about Notre Dame, time for you to get in the conference and play in a major conference. If you only do it for your football program, by all means do it. But I think this is Notre Dame, Big 12 or ACC. You got to pick one. And be able to win that for us to truly respect you across college football, because you're out of conference schedule and quote unquote out of conference schedule. You play a lot of ACC teams, so go ahead and jump in the ACC, get you another team in the ACC, pull Vanderbilt out the SEC or however you want to do it, and y'all get some collaborative stuff going and go to the ACC. And now we'll start respecting you. Oregon, I do have questions about Oregon, but I truly believe Dante Moore is going to have a quality year for their offense. Dan Lanning and his defense, and in that conference, they're still going to be a fiery group, replacing a lot of production on the back end and the secondary, but I think they're going to be good. LSU at number 9 below us. I think they're getting a lot of hype because of Doug Nussmeier. I think LSU has more questions than they have answers right now, and it's going to showcase early in the season if these questions are able to be answered. And Miami coming in at number 10, that's probably the only gripe I have in this top 10, because you got teams like South Carolina, you got Ole Miss, you got who else was in the playoffs last year and returning some quality production?
Arizona State's in there.
SMU. I
think Miami going to be a good team, but they are definitely catching a lot of hype.
Oh, a lot of hype and unproven hype. I mean, you don't have Cam Ward at quarterback. Carson Beck is not a game changer at quarterback. Coming off of his surgery from this offseason, what type of production are we actually going to get from Miami? They lost some guys in the portal, especially in the wide receiver core. Got a few guys in recruiting, and I think they went and got the number 7 ranked portal receiver or something like that in the portal. So they got a lot of questions on the offensive side, and their defense wasn't anything to brag about last season. Any team that they played top 40, top 30 offensive efficiency rankings, they struggled badly and literally won those games by less than 1 possession. So I don't get where the Miami hype is coming from. But when it comes to Alabama, I said all this to say this so y'all can see how unbiased I am when it comes to these AP polls. Alabama, to me, is in the perfect spot. I don't think it adds fuel to the fire. I think being right outside the top 5 is exactly where they deserve to be, because literally we ended the season number 11 in the playoff rankings. So to be at number 8, they're giving us credit where credit is due. I think the production on defense plays a part in it. The veteran offensive line, the best offensive line, rated offensive line in the country right now. You get that. The depth at the running back room and the production returning there, the experience returning there. But then what you project at the wide receiver quarterback duo right now, I think it's something to be marveled upon and to be paid attention to. So I think Alabama's right where they need to be at 8 at the beginning of the season, preseason AP.
Yeah, I was just asking the question, just curious what other Bama fans thought. I mean, I could get it. Maybe 7 or 8 is actually perfect. They are definitely top 10. But, dude, I'm ready for Florida State, man. Let's hurry up, get this game going so we can shut up these group of 5 Seminoles, whatever the hell they are. I love all you guys. Hey, Coach, we're going live at Ballard Sports Media at noon. Okay. So y'all come tune in.
Yeah, y'all make sure y'all heard them. They're live at noon. I'll be checking in right after. We got post-practice report, so we'll probably be live. And I don't plan to have a long post-practice report today. We're getting into that last half of practice right now. My messages are slowing down, so it looks like I may be able to put my notes together and post them on Twitter and get them out to everybody, so that we can put out what we're learning from practice today. But I'm definitely gonna try to check you out, Jackson. I mean, not Jackson. I keep calling my boy Jackson. Christian, Jackson be tapping in too, man. Jackson from Boys of College Football.
He's 15.
Yeah, that's my guy, man. That's my guy. But definitely go check out our guy Ballard Sports Media, Christian Ballard over at Ballard Sports Media on YouTube. Make sure y'all go show some love. Jason Jackson says Cam Ward with his ability won them close games for Miami. Belk ain't built like that. 100%, Jason. And I'm trying to figure out why there's so much hype. But sometimes these Vegas guys and these different odds makers, they know something that we don't know. I just don't see it right now for Miami. But Christian, I appreciate you for tapping in, man. Last words before we let you off the line, and open the phone lines up. If you want to get on that phone line, 334-625-1121, start calling in 30 seconds.
Just nothing but love and respect. I can't wait to see what teams compete for real this fall. But Alabama's going to be in the mix. Love y'all. Jesus loves you. God bless, and roll tide.
Amen, and roll tide to my brother Christian Ballard. Appreciate Christian Ballard for tapping in today. Listen, if y'all have not followed my brother, make sure y'all go subscribe to his YouTube channel right now. We got 43 likes on the stream, man. Can we get 2 more likes to get to 45? Appreciate y'all for the 43, man. Can we get 2 more? If you haven't hit that thumbs up button here on the stream, you tweaking. Hit that thumbs up button. No reason to be here now. At least hit the like button. Lurkers and all, man. Hit that thumbs up button. We got you. And we got the phone line open, man. For all of you people on Twitter, on all these different sites that love to come at my statuses and stuff, this is your time to call in and say what you got to say. Get in the game. Don't just be on the sidelines talking. Get in the game. Say what you got to say. Say what you got to say here on the Coach Smook Network, 334-625-1121. And we are kind of trying to drag this out because I got a report and I'm gonna talk about this. What's up, Britt? Good to see you. Britt, good to see you over there on TikTok. Hey y'all, Britt, big homie. I appreciate y'all for doing what y'all do on the TikTok side. Hey, AJ Moore, you tapping that screen on the TikTok side. Come over to the YouTube side and check in, brother. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're almost at our 5K. No, we're almost at 3.3K. We got a long way to go. Got a long way to go to get to 5K. But I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful because we have an announcement to make Saturday that I believe is going to have a lot more people that are second guessing what this channel is about and what we do. There's going to be something that we do this Saturday that's going to be like, oh yeah, he's legit. He's there. But check this out, chat. We have 3,280 total subscribers here on the Coach Smook Network. Appreciate y'all for that, man. 3,280 total subscribers, man. Come on, give it up. Somebody shout. Somebody shout. Come on now. Come on, somebody shout. Somebody say thank you. Somebody say thank you. 3,280. 3,280 subscribers in the AAA family. Come on, Jesus. Come on. Say yeah. Let's go. Come on, y'all. Give it up for yourselves. Y'all know I had to act up a little bit, man. Y'all. 3,280. Thank y'all, each and every one of y'all, for subscribing to the Coach Smook Network on the YouTube side. And then how many we got on TikTok? We got a whole bunch. We got a whole bunch of followers on TikTok. We almost at our 5. I think we have 3.8K. 3.8K. Is it 3.8? I can't look at it right now. If I back out, it's gonna make me skip some, and I ain't trying to skip none. But appreciate y'all. One more like it, we're gonna be at that 45 mark. Which one of y'all hacked in? What you talking about? Dino, shut up, man. Dino's a hacker, chat. Dino's a hacker. He's a hacker. He definitely be hacking. I'm gonna put you on blast, Dino. You hacking, bro. You hacking. Dino hacking. He got the extra pages, giving us the extra follows and the extra likes. He got the ghost pages, man. He helping us out. Y'all know we've been accused of buying followers, y'all. You know what? I've seen that process happen. And if I'm a purchase followers, right? I was on a channel that did that, okay? It wasn't here. I was on a channel that did that. So y'all know it's a limited choices. But I was on a channel that got tricked into doing that. And that channel went from 2.5K or no 2.8K to 6.3K overnight. And I just knew it wasn't legit. The comments didn't match up, the views didn't match up. And so the moment I started seeing that, I found out how that process works. And yeah, it's not a good thing to be. If you have 6K, if you have 12K subscribers, you should be able to maintain at least 60 to 70 live viewers every stream on one platform. Us being at 2 point, what was our number again? 3.2K. We have an average live viewership of we get anywhere from 47 to 80, 45 to 80 live viewers on YouTube. And between our platforms, we always averaging 100 to 150. Sometimes on crazy breaking news or things are hype, we get the numbers. So we're retaining our percentage numbers, and it's keeping us in that top 10 percentile of our subscriber base, based off all the channels across YouTube that are at 3.2. I mean, at 3K to 5K mark. Our retention of viewership, live viewership, is higher than a lot of the other channels that have this same type of subscriber base. So y'all are doing a great job at supporting and getting the word out, and I just want to give y'all some applause for that and show y'all some love for that. So give it up for yourselves. Because it's not just me. It's not just me by any means. It's our team and the moderators in the background doing what they do, and it's you all continuing to like and share the stream and continue to support the content here at the Coach Smook Network. So we got time for one more phone call. If anybody wants to call in, 334-625-1121. phone call. But with that being said, man, I'm gonna say some last few things before we if we get a phone call, just kind of do some closing announcements for the rest of this week. We got today. Tonight we will be, if we go live on Alabama Voice of College Football, make sure y'all are subscribed over there. That's the primary channel for our informative coverage for Alabama Crimson Tide football starting in September, the first week of September. Our schedule will be as such: Monday mornings here on the Coach Smook Network, Monday post-practice report on the Coach Smook Network, and then Monday night we'll be live on Alabama, the Alabama Voice of College Football with our evening show there. Alabama Talk with myself, Jackson Johnson, and Jeffrey. I think we'll have Jeffrey on Monday nights. I can't remember, y'all. But Tuesday night is Alabama Primetime Live. That's when we'll be doing our post-game reaction not call-in show, but interaction show. Monday night here on the Coach Smook Network, we'll be doing the call-in show. You all know that we'll be doing our post-game call-in show, but Monday night we'll also do a call-in show Monday nights starting in September. And then Tuesday we'll kick off that morning with the post-practice reports, all of that. Then Tuesday evening back on the Alabama Voice of College Football. Wednesday we'll open up that morning with the morning show again, 8 a.m. morning show, giving you the updates, midweek updates and all of that, injury updates, everything official on Wednesday. Wednesday night, Wednesday evening, we'll do some community gaming. And I need anybody that's on NCAA 26 in the community, that's between all platforms, join and support the TikTok streams. That's where we'll be doing all of our gaming content, but we're trying to work something to where we have it on Twitch and we bring it to YouTube for our Coach Smook gaming page. But until then, we'll be posting a lot of clips with our NCAA gaming content, a lot of clips on the Coach Smook Gaming on YouTube channel. Make sure y'all go and show some support over there. Subscribe to that channel. We want to get that to 100 subscribers so that we can start going live and featuring our live game simulations live there. And you can see the playback of the edited version of live game simulations on Alabama Voice of College Football. And so we got a full schedule. Thursdays will be the call-in show on the Alabama Voice of College Football that evening. That morning we'll do our post-practice reports and all of that stuff between 11:30 and 12:30 noon of that time frame on Thursdays. And then Friday, the call-in show is that morning. Friday night, Bama Late Night, we'll have a segment where we'll have some guests, whether it's current players, whether it's current staff members, whether it's parents of players, parents of recruits, current recruit commits. We'll have something late that night, meaning 9:30 or later, if we're not at a Friday Night Lights event. All right, Friday Night Lights is going to be something that we announce as the week comes. We got a lot of players that we got to go visit. Bama commits, non-Bama commits. Y'all know my passion is recruiting and covering the high school game, so that's where y'all will see me at a lot this season on Friday nights. And then Saturday morning, our kickoff show. We're going to kick off the show. The kickoff show is going to be early this fall. I know last fall we used to do it around 8:30. I think we're going to do the kickoff show at 7 a.m. to where it's a 30 to 45 minute show where we do our analysis for this weekend's game, this upcoming game. And then Friday night, before we do our Bama Late Night, we're going to do the live game simulation live. And then Saturday morning, we'll do our pick'ems and replay the live game simulation, the straight board. We're going to try to get it all edited, but that's a lot of editing. We'll try to have it ready for Saturday morning before kickoff. That'll be the lead off. Try to get it down to 20 minutes of worth of content with the main plays and highlights of those games, those live game simulations. And then Saturday after the games, we will have a post-game show with myself and Jackson Johnson and whoever else we have as a guest on the Alabama Voice of College Football immediately following the games. And then the call-in shows will always be Saturday night, 9 p.m. 9 p.m. we'll open up the show, and any games that is being played, if Alabama's not playing, we'll start our call-in show at 9 p.m. on Saturday and go as late as you all want to go into the wee hours of Sunday morning. And then, of course, y'all know Sunday we do our ride and rant on the way to church. And this year's going to be shorter. It's going to be shorter, just basically introducing the topics of conversation going into Monday over on the Coach Smook Network, here on the Coach Smook Network, and over on Alabama Voice of College Football. So with that being said, we're at the 2 hour and 17 minute mark. Crazy loaded show today. I appreciate y'all for tapping in, man. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. We was able to get 2 callers on the line today. A lot of vibes, a lot of fun. 44 likes on the stream with 22 concurrent viewers on YouTube. How many we got on Twitter? We got 62 on Twitter. We got people checking in on Facebook. And then we had Instagram. We had a lot of people checking in on Instagram. Appreciate y'all for checking in on Instagram. How many people? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 people came through and checked in on Instagram. Those are all numbers that we expect them to see. We're trying something different now with the Coach Smook Network, trying to make sure we're streaming on all platforms and to see everybody coming through, whether they're interacting, hitting the reaction button, whatever it is on those other platforms. That's all we're asking for. So we appreciate y'all. And don't forget, Antonio, what's good, man? I see you. Look, they loving it over there on TikTok. TikTok done had 38 total viewers come through. May not be 38 live, but we've had 38 viewers come through and somehow interact with this show, whether they tap the screen, they shared it some type of way. We had 38 people. So we're starting to get those numbers up on each platform. Y'all continue to support Facebook. We want to see some more action on Facebook. So if you're a Facebook user, make sure you go follow us at Coach Smook on Facebook. Follow us at Coach Smook on our platforms. But don't forget, on YouTube, we have Smook Hines and Coach Smook Gaming on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to those channels and make sure that you're supporting on each platform, whichever one. We're doing this because we have everybody that's particular, right? They have the Facebook users. We have YouTube users. We have TikTok. We got Twitter. We got Instagram users. We're doing this because we want to reach everybody that wants to get quality Alabama content. My boy Jordan checking in on all platforms, man. Stop playing with Jordan, man. Hey, my moderators, stop playing with my moderators. Antonio, we saw your name come up, man. I'm going to do this for you, Antonio. You stay on that TikTok side real quick. We just made Antonio a moderator on TikTok, man. I appreciate you for showing up every day, Antonio. I appreciate you. We got some moderators on TikTok. My team, man. Listen, I don't care what y'all say, and I said this about my team last year. And they for the time that we were in, a lot of hype around the name and all of that. They were there, but this team has been there through that and through the transition and this coming out where we're starting to get a lot more attention, and they're doing it on both platforms. They're doing it on all platforms that we're there. My team of moderators, man. If my moderators could put the blood A emojis, the blood type AAA, can y'all put 3 AAAs in there so I could acknowledge y'all on all platforms? I don't care which side you on, I'll call your name out. But I want you that are here represented today. I want you to acknowledge yourselves. If you hit the blood type in there and put them 3 A's in there, I want to acknowledge you before we get out of here today. And I want to acknowledge everybody that took time out there morning to come and kick it with your boy and talk some Alabama football. Shout out to my guy Jordan. Y'all know he's in band camp with the $1 Million Band. Y'all keep him in y'all prayers. We're professing and believing God for great success and for him to be able to take advantage of this opportunity this year. Got us in the door last year. We was on that field last year, and I remember acting up that Georgia game trying to find you. I'm surprised he didn't hear me when I came out there being extra ghetto. Extra ghetto is what I was doing. That's what I was being, and I'm not ashamed. I was looking for my little brother, and I found him, and it was cool, man. A lot of people was like, "Boy, you silly." I know. I love my family. Shout out to Jordan Wright, one of our moderators, been a moderator for a while here. See, this is what I want from my AAA members, my moderators. I don't want the emoji, the AAA emoji. I want this. I want the blood type emoji like Jordan put in there. Them 3 A's like that. See, y'all doing the emojis. I can't highlight them like that. I wish StreamYard would fix that. You see that? How I got AAA fam. I want the actual emoji to show up when we click on it over here. They doing us dirty with that one. That ain't cute. Antonio said, appreciate you. Yeah, hey, listen. We here, Antonio, over there on TikTok. You've been helping out, man. And I trust you. I feel like you got a good vibe and know what we want in the chat and what we stand for. You know, we like to talk trash. But we always want to keep it clean for the delivery of content. Bama Boy 22 says, what time you plan on going live Saturday? What did you like to know? I'm gonna do a members only live Friday to explain what's happening Saturday. But Bama Boy 22, you've been around me long enough to kind of get at the hints that I'm giving out. And Twitter, I know y'all lurking over there. Yeah, I know y'all lurking over there. Y'all want so bad for me not to be the guy that everybody's labeled me as, the insider, that y'all gonna miss out on some good stuff this season, man. Trying to hate, and there's no reason to hate. There's no reason to hate. Just embrace it, enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy it. All 62 of y'all watching right now on Twitter, y'all can really just continue. Y'all can support. You don't have to hate. There's no reason to be mad at me for working hard to get where I'm getting. I got partners right now, man. I got a reason to, like, it's some people out there doing the legwork just like me that's growing in their different lanes. I don't hate on them. You know where my problem comes in at? It's the ones that's not doing the work. They resourcing our information. They're not giving credit where credit is due, right? And they don't have the quality of product that needs to come behind what they're trying to mimic or duplicate. They don't have the extensive, and I could say a name to be petty, but I'm not. Y'all know who I'm talking about. It's funny to try to see the Coach Smook Network be replicated across the YouTube space. Not only is it funny, it's also good, man. It's also good to know that our product is something that's desired to the point where you can acknowledge it. And this isn't cockiness. This is just us being proud of what we're doing. And I keep saying us because it's not just me. I have a legit team. A lot of these people don't have legit teams. They have people that are haters. They don't have no vision. They just want to be on the next hot train, right? Appreciate that, Tevin. They want to be on with the next hot thing going, and they want their names to be heard, and they ain't really talking about nothing. Shout out to my sister Tina chapping in on that Instagram side, man. But here at the Coach Smook Network, we got some quality stuff going on at the Coach Smook Network. Shout out to Britt and Antonio for tapping in with the AAA emojis on the TikTok side. Yeah, man. Tevin, you got to get you a wristband, bro. Somebody got to get Tevin a wristband. This Friday, Tevin, I'm telling you. This Friday, you better tap in. Or not even this Friday. Shoot, you want to tap in every Friday, but Fridays, it's been something good with these Fridays lately. People been real generous on Fridays, and them gifted memberships been looking good across some of our regular viewers' names. Bama Boy 22 is one of them. Is AK Deer too good to keep off the field this year? I wish you would have called in and asked that. We got 5 minutes. I think AK Deer is good enough to play spots. I don't think we force him into the game plan this season. And he's patient. He's patient. I know a lot of people try to put a lot of craziness around his recruiting because he wasn't as vocal and he was, taking his visits and doing all that. But I think AK Deer and him showing up early, the impact that he was making as a freshman with the third team, and still just continue to grow and learn this thing. This offensive scheme, he doesn't have to be pushed out there. So I don't think he's too good to keep off the field only because of what's in front of him. Because I think right now with Kevin Riley and AK Deer, they're the next 2A, 2B to Daniel Hill. I think Daniel Hill has ended up being the lead back next season or starts the season as the lead back. And guys like AK Deer or the AK Deer will be the beneficiary of being 2A in this system. Antonio, appreciate the 3 gifts, man. Appreciate the 3 gifts over there on TikTok again. He has a gear the top 3 backs on rosters don't have at that size. Nah, I think you're mistaken, Bama boy. I think you're mistaken. Daniel Hill has a gear. I'm telling y'all, Bama boy 22. I don't know if you've been listening. Who you been listening to that told you that? Because Richard Young got a gear that we still have yet to see, right? With his limited opportunities. And I think you don't have to put him in those situations to where you're hoping that he hits that gear. He gets limited opportunities to highlight that. So I disagree. I think Jam Miller has a gear that's different. I think that Daniel Hill has a gear. I think Richard Young has a different gear. And top speed, Kevin Riley's the fastest back in the room. And no question is asked. Like, he's the fastest back in the room. Almost excited for Mr. Rich, too. That man's name is Richard. What y'all know about Richard? What y'all know about Richard? Big homie, appreciate the 19 gifts over there on TikTok, man. Y'all keep going crazy with the gifts, man. Hey, and Mary J, did we get the banner updated? We had gifts from Britt, Antonio, Big homie. Make sure they're part of that co-sponsor banner. I think earlier in the week, who do we have earlier in the week? Co-sponsors. I think we had David Pickett this month, August. We've had the co-sponsors tap in. David Pickett is in that list. Who else, man? Kareem was in that list. We done had a lot of people. Megan came in and donated on the super chat side on YouTube, right? I don't think can y'all do stars on Facebook? I don't even know if like you can see stars on Facebook. I don't even have the thing up for the Facebook analytics, so we kind of just use Facebook to get everybody over to YouTube and Twitter. How many likes we sitting at on the stream, y'all? 47. We need 3 more likes to get to 50. So hopefully by the end of the day, we'll hit that 50 mark. We hit the 45. Thank y'all for that once again. Y'all, like I said, y'all continue to doing what y'all do. It's definitely helping the network, and we're going to continue to celebrate it and grow. As we continue to grow, you guys get to enjoy more in-depth coverage and content here on the Coach Smook Network and at the Alabama Voice, at Alabama, the voice of college football. I see somebody hating. Just hit the like button again, trying to play around. Stop playing. Don't touch that like button again. If you don't touch it once, I'm going to jerk you. I'm just playing. Let's go. Hey, but on the way out, man, make sure y'all show somebody some love again. God loves you, and so do I. I'm your boy here on the Coach Smook Network. Smook Hines here on the Coach Smook Network. And remember, when you see me in the streets, holler at me and say, put me in the game, Coach Smook. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Y'all be blessed. Roll Tide to all my AAA family. That's Bama. And to the AAA family, SOS, man. Standing strong. And we're doing this thing, loving on each other, growing as a community, and enjoying some college football. It is now officially the official countdown to August 30th. We got how many days, chat? 15 days in a wake up. 15 days in a wake up, and Alabama football kicks off 2:30 p.m. Central Standard Time against the Florida State Seminoles in Tallahassee, Florida. Can't wait to see y'all there. But until we get there, y'all take that ride with me. Keep riding with your boy until we get there August 30th. I appreciate y'all. Roll Tide, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Be blessed.
Remember, when you see me in the streets, holler at me. Say, put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. 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 Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
This guy got 4 fingers for